No moron in this community that I know of has come out and done that, right? None of them, because they got no balls and they're all cowards.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can't hear me. Oh, there.
Wonderful.
That's good. So I left it open that if anybody wants to join us, they can come join us because I figured this would be like a open call episode to talk about the state of things. And I offered you for Mr. Doom to come back on. Mr. Doom's been, I think you've been on like 3 times or something now. Eh?
Yeah, something like that. 2, 3 times, yes.
Yeah. So I was just chatting about my podcasting experience and collaborating with people and how difficult it is to collaborate with people with content creation and stuff. And especially now that and I'm moving away from what I used to do and then getting into the Warcraft scene of stuff and trying to on a busy schedule make a YouTube channel, make a Twitch, try to build a Twitch following and let's just do a call to arms podcast and let's do this and let's talk about stuff and like who wants to make some new training videos or new creep route videos or stuff like that that's more proficient than I am in the game and let's do something together. But people are very protective of their content and really generally only I don't want to say work with certain people, but work with certain people that maybe fit their narrative or their content. I know I'm not bashing Grubby. I'll use Grubby in this example. Like Grubby will work with only select people to protect his content and his persona and his stuff, and rightfully so because he's doing it to make money and that's his job and things like that. But when you're not making money and you're trying to start something new, or the like we've mentioned before that I find Warcraft the community is really gated by certain people. It's just hard and just like I get messages all the time from people like that want to do something like hey let's collaborate, let's do something, let's do the podcast thing together. It's like yeah, okay, what are you bringing to the table, what are you doing, are you a personality, are you going to edit, are you going to bring people, or you have an idea, do you have an itinerary, like oh but how do you do this, they want to know like how you're setting up or how you're doing this or how do you edit stuff, it's like how do you make images or how do you do this, but they don't want anything else, they just want to know what you're doing so they could take what you have or figure out what you're doing and do it better, which we see all the time, whether it's a thumbnail, whether it's a podcast, whether it's an interview with somebody, whether it's whatever the case may be. So um just spitballing while we're waiting because what we really wanted to talk about tonight was just kind of like where the state of the game is after OnlyFans, the NASF, the league, where season one was, where we're going, the cups, and maybe the state of Pally Rifle after all these. Because I saw your title about how do I counter Pally Rifle today, and there's a lot of little things like that. So if anything sticks out to you, Doom, that you want to rant about, go ahead. And if anybody else wants to come join us, Sunshine, if you're here, if you want to come join us and chat about human anything, exactly human players against Pally Rifle. But if anybody wants to come in, Rainer, if you want to drop in, the voice channel's open, and we'll make it one of those community episodes.
I'll tell you, I am having Vietnam flashbacks after this weekend. So I got a week ban for DKing and 4v4, and then I've been playing a little bit of Direct Strike, and then I was like, well, let me try to play some solo, and I'll tell you what, I have run either into human or undead, so it's either Crypt Lord, mass units, or it's Pally Rifle right now, and it's been such a nightmare this weekend that I've tried both as human and orc. It's been a nightmare against Pally Rifle. Like I just want to instant log off. It's so bad right now.
Well, I can tell you that a lot of players I played against are going Pally Rifle as human, and as orc, I already had an idea what to do against it. And then Carson released his Theorycraft episode about the emergency episode we needed to talk about how to counter it. And if you've watched that episode of Theorycraft with Carson, He says go Farseer, go Headhunters, get Panda second, because Panda second, and I agree with him, and I think it works. Panda second comes out at the tavern immediately, and you don't have to wait for the build time of the TC to come out at the altar. So you could creep him. Maybe TC's better for control and finite down the line, because the game's not necessarily, the game's like Poly Rifles, the game's not supposed to go 30 minutes, right? So you get the Panda, and you could creep up the Panda immediately, especially if it's at the tavern, you're in the middle of a map, like you, maybe there's a shop there, maybe there's a market, you could do that kind of stuff. So you get to try to get the Panda to level 3 as soon as possible, and you go quick tier 3 with Headhunters to get your Berserker upgrade, and you want to get damage upgrades if possible, and you want to get I already was thinking about it, but he did it anyways, was Firelord. And we saw Grubby trying to do that kind of stuff against Pally Rifle. Originally, when he faced Saul 8-man, he went, I think, Farseer, TC, Kodos, and Raider and stuff like that, but it didn't really work, right? Maybe the Kodos would have worked with walkers, but it's a lot of time and investment you don't necessarily have. But I like the Farseer Panda Firelord. I like Firelord in general because I'll use it with Criplord, but it works. And Carson says, get Tauren, because Tauren's like an extra hero and soaks up damage. But I find that late into the game, it's big investment. Tauren are expensive. I mean, you're already going tier 3, but I think you can spend that money on Steel Scrolls, Scroll Protection, um, items, and really don't sleep on Demolishers with Burning Oil. Even one of them, or two of them, if you have the money and the time. If you happen to get if you happen to get an expo up or whatever, um, it it works. I've done it. It works. But I think the key is the harass of the Farseer on the Paladin, to keep the Paladin at home, try not to give any experience with the wolves, and try to damage the Paladin and keep him home as long as possible. Because your level 1 Farseer doesn't matter. His level 1 Paladin matters. The longer it takes for him to get level 3, the better, right? And if you happen to be able to do it, what the hell did I just get here for? Mr. Williams.
Williams 28 just subscribed for
I
19 months.
Thanks.
it's really weird because I tried the other day or last weekend I played as Orc. I went Blade Master Firelord for the Soul Burn,
Yeah.
and I went two racks grunt, similar to like the Happy Play style.
Yeah.
And just because of how utility mirror images, I like it to either pick off, zone out, or just kind of, because it gets in those weird timing of what I ran into today. Because I try to do two racks expo, and the problem is you just give the paladin all the free time in the world to just get 3 push. As much as you can power creep with Blade Master, I think what you said and what Carson Credence said, I think that's more fair because you really just want to pressure the paladin at level 1. Uh, it's weird that I've tried so many things and I'm so lost. Even in Human Mirror, I just go 2 racks defend. Like I just feel like that's the only thing. Even with Knights and Sundering Blades, I just feel like defend is too value against Power Rifle. It's been a nightmare.
Wouldn't the defense against Pally Rifle as human be Blood Mage and AoE?
I mean, if you siphon mana, but the thing is, it's just the DPS of rifles are absolutely insane. So I feel like even if you suck the mana out of the pala, you still have the rifles that, like defend. Defend is so good, and I think it's super value, especially in mirror, and it's super frustrating because even you can have an expo, they're playing one base, tier 3 knights that are on the way. The DPS is still insane. I mean, if you get like what, 10 rifles, 8 rifles?
Yeah.
I've never lost to a power rifle as human except for once, and I fixed it. You want to know how to beat it?
Tell me.
Well, first off, yeah, obviously you have to scout it because some people just don't scout. Second off, I agree with the Blood Mage second. You switch to AoE damage. You stick with the defend footies. You don't tech to knights. And you just AoE the ever living shit out of those goddamn rifles. Oh, and magic. Throw in magic too. Couple Sorks, man, they can't run away. Haven't I'm like 9-1 against Power Rifle. And the one was when I learned my lesson. So I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents.
Nate, do you think Frat Shards would be super value because of the media barber? Or is it
Yeah, I think that could be valuable. The problem with frag shards is it means you get a workshop, which is like a whole other tech tree. You know what I mean? I don't think you need it. I think you can go. Like magic is really important because usually power rifle players invest everything into like items and rifles, right? So, couple sorks, maybe 3 sorks, couple priests, all defend footies, and then Flame Strike and Blizzard wrecks the shit out of Power Rifle as human.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was the AoE with human against Pally Rifle should be able to negate them. It's just orc, night elf probably, and does undead really have that much? Yeah, I've played it with Cryptlord. Um, Cryptlord, Firelord, like I do it. People laugh at me, but it really works. Like really works, especially against Pally Rifle. Like that impale with summons with Soulburn. Put the Soulburn on the Paladin or the Blood Mage. Like it's
Soulburn is nice. Your
it's
Miko's
money.
gotten good with it too, Mike.
Yeah.
But yeah, like your response is good. I've seen you do it in FFA and shit too. Yeah, that's a super handy ability. I think Doom, you mentioned that too. Grabbing Firelord to just shut down the Paladin or whatever.
I've been saying Soulburn has been super good for like 6 months now. Like
Yeah.
since it got changed. I
Yeah.
like it. The problem is with Firelord, he's so squishy, and I think
Yeah.
he falls off. Um, if he had maybe higher armor or more HP, not like he'd probably be borderline broken at that point. But Soulburn for the direct silence and like Orc Mirror, before Dispel comes out, and that's the biggest timing is like you have to get it early before Dispel comes out. I mean, shamans, priests. I like it in mirror like Orc Mirror because if you go Blade Master, they can't mirror image, they can't windwalk, and then that's 75% of damage reduction. So if you're just turning Blade Master versus Blade Master, you have the upper hand because they're gonna crit for like 19 damage.
It's true.
It's so funny.
So, Firelord's really good against Blade. Even
Firelord
first.
OP.
Yeah. It's but incinerate I mean the mana cheaper. It's like 2 mana per hit or whatever. It's really good. Like I mean you see a lot of Night Elf players going Firelord first, right? You won't see really Orc or Undead or Human go Firelord first, for example. But as a good second and there's a good third, like it's really it's good. Like it's not broken, but it's strong. And but there's counters to it, like the spell. Like once the spell comes out, is it really worth it? Well, you know what? Soulburn doesn't go bad. It's like silence. Negate. It's really good against Demon Hunter too. Like I tell everybody, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it. And I always trying to get North Jakar to go Cryptlord Firelord, but he doesn't want to do it.
I like it versus NK too. Super good. No bolt, reduced damage. Especially because of how short the cooldowns are on Stormbolt and Thunderclap.
Mhm.
So you avoid essentially like 2 cycles. Because it's what, like 7 seconds or 9 seconds for level 1 Soulburn.
Don't
And
mention missing cycles. That shit gives me nightmares, okay?
well, I'm just saying, like you know, yeah, cycles. Speaking of, no, just between the nukes of Bolt Clap, because of the cooldown. So you kind of get and the reduced damage. I mean, Mountain King is, I don't know, you don't see MK first anymore, because I think Power Rifle is prevalent in all matchups, so it's viable in all matchups now. And versus Undead, except for like certain maps. I don't know. I like to see Mountain King first again, but Power Rifles is so good.
I gotta go do laundry. I just wanted to mention how to eat Power Rifle as human. Love you lots.
Yeah, Poly Rifle is definitely. I really think that in the next future patch, whenever that's going to be, they're going to need to fix it. Like I know not everybody's doing it, but everybody's doing it, and across all MMRs, it's a little bit too strong. Now, whether the fix of Pally Rifle is cooldown on Siphon Mana, reduced hit points on Rifle, cooldown on Holy Light, I don't know what the answer is, but it definitely needs to be something. Like, it's so strong. It's so strong. Across all MMRs, it's so strong.
I'd be okay with the Siphon Mana cooldown, even as a human player. Not the rifles. I think I would be okay with. The thing is, if you ruin the heroes too much, then it's other strategies get murdered in the crossfire too.
Yeah, you don't
So
want
even
to.
as
Yeah, you don't want to change too much or a little bit. Like, if you took off 30 hit points off a rifle, that would be game breaking for rifles, right? But
Coil Nova, yeah, Coil Nova would just
yeah,
murder the
it would
rifles then
it,
at that point.
it'd be game breaking. So, do you reduce their hit points by 5, or do you not touch them? And do you put a cooldown on Siphon Mana, or you make Siphon Mana a little bit weaker at every level, so it's not as powerful? You know, those are the little things. It's like when going back to the Demon Hunter talk. It's like, does the Demon Hunter's OP? Like, Night Elf really, for the most part, it's like Archmage. There's some people that question the Archmage and the Brilliance Aura and that stuff, but Demon Hunter can solo an entire Orc army. It's funny when you watch Grubby games. I'm watching more Grubby games and casting them, and he was playing against who was it? Was it Narbu? It was somebody else. It wasn't an elf player, and there's a Demon Hunter on his arse. He literally had an entire army. He's like, I have to get out of here. That Demon Hunter can solo my entire army. He's like, I gotta get away from him. And it just goes to show you that, like, one of the best players in the world is telling you that it's broken. And he's pretty, I think, open about that. Like, Night Elf's a little bit broken, but there's this, there's that, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, outside of that, I think the state of the game's in a good position, more or less. And what's our biggest issue? Servers, different platforms. W3C is coming out with the finals now, or invite only finals, right? So there's gonna be a big prize pool for that. You got, back to Warcraft bringing that back, and hopefully some of the good players. A lot of them have disappeared, but if you go on Flow TV, you start seeing some higher MMRs playing now, so it's nice to see. Maybe get a couple games to cast, but I wanted to go into. I mean, Doom, you've been around, you participated. I wanted to go into what we've done for the Discord. But we got Show Match Friday, and Show Match Friday started as with Slayer, and Slayer, who's been around at the beginning a lot, and life gets in the way. So Slay Day used to be the one running shots for show matches. So um, we used to do show matches a lot, right? And there's a debate on the spelling, but it's actually 2 words. We used to do show matches. We used to try to get players to come in, put on a show for free, play all MMRs, right? Like all MMRs. And we've had Pato. I don't know if we've had it Pato versus Inspired. We've had, a variety of other MMRs. I don't know if we have Insup ever play one. Can't remember. But there's been a bunch of them. Anyways, we started that, and then originally, yeah, it wants me to write misses. Originally, we started with Mayo Cup. You played in the first Mayo Cup, didn't you?
Yeah, what was that? Last year? Holy,
It's been, yeah, it's been a ways.
I think I got Hitman. I think in the first Mayo Cup. Was it when it was more open?
No, Mayo Cup was like, I could go to the Wikipedia page. Mayo Cup was 1400 and under, or 1300 and under. So if we go to me and I zoom in and we go to broadcast, or sort of organize the
Oh,
event broadcast,
Cage. That's right.
and we go all the way down to Mayo Cup number 1, which is 2023. That's August. Was it in August? August 17th?
Oh, 2
Wow.
years ago?
Oh man.
Come on.
August 11th and August 13th. So we ran Mayo Cup on 2 Fridays. But this is when I didn't have children, so we did it at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on a Friday and at 1 p.m. Eastern on another Friday. And it was under 1400, and you can see even the graphics and everything are a bit more different. We had Autumn Leaves, Concealed Hill, Echo Isles 2, Hammerfall, Last Refuge, Northern Isles, Ruins of Ashura, Shallow Grave, Springtime, Tide Hunters, Turtle Rock, and Twisted Meadows. So we had a big map pool. We had early rounds were best of 1. It was single elimination, best of 3 quarters and semis, and grand final was best of 5. So pretty much standard tournament like everybody was doing, right? Cage finished first, so he got 30 smackers. Slay Day finished second. Bitao, I haven't seen him in a long time, finished and got $5. Kenny G finished in fourth. And Williams cast it with me. Williams co-casted the first Mayo Cup, so that was pretty cool. And who do we got? We had Kurt Russell versus Gartol, Pudum Central versus Bitao, Wigan versus Tim. That's Tim Chess, I think. Boomwall versus Cage. Yeah, you were in the second round. So you were waiting in the second round. Cage beat you. Kenny was waiting in the second round. He beat Tim. BP Woody was in the second round. He lost to Bitao. And Slade was in the second round. And he beat Kurt Russell, Bitao. Lost to Cage in the finals. Kenny G went to the third place match. And he lost to Cage. And Cage took a 3-1. And he was playing random. Wow. He was playing random. And yeah.
My click my matches versus Cage and look at the first match. The little information button.
Yes, yeah.
You see, yeah. So click mine versus Cage, and look what I played first on Autumn Leaves. Power Rifle. Oh no. Oh.
Does it? Where does it say that though?
For the heroes, it went
Okay. Yeah.
Paladin,
You went Paladin, Blood Mage. Oh my
Power
goodness,
Rifle
that's
that
so
game.
funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he just went first year TC both games. Then you went MK Archmage. What was Kenny? Kenny was Blade Master Panda against Tim Shadow Farsi or Shadow Hunter. Wow, that's crazy. And anyways, so that was the first Mayo Cup we ever did, first tournament we ever did. And then obviously the formats changed a lot. And then we did Show Match Friday's Bounty Special, which was the most entertaining show match of the evening. We gave a prize money to, which turned out to be, we had a couple. We had two's match, North Jakar and Penguin versus Williams and Kadark. And then we had Penguin versus Sarai in a best of 3. And we had Lord Michael versus Air. And Lord Michael and Air, that was a really entertaining match. He won 2, although we split the money between the two of them, so they got $25 each. And so we never did that again, but we did have other show matches that are not here. We had a lot of show matches that didn't show up for money. We personally have casted the Hidden Valley Cups for a box and the Tioga Pass Cups for him, 1, 2, and 3. Then we did after Mayo Cup, 8. So that was August, September, October, November. So the first Spicy Mayo Cup was in November of 2023. And that was similar map pool, except we went to 5 maps. This is when I started changing things. We went to 5 maps, except we picked the maps for the rounds. So Tide Hunters was round 1. All round 1 matchups were Tide Hunters. All round 2 were Turtle Rock. All round 3 were Echo Alice 2. The semifinals was Twisted Meadows, and the grand final was Ruins of Ashura. So we picked the maps for the round. They didn't have to do any vetoes, which a couple of people had said we should have brought back and done it. You know, I think it gives it's really like a toss up. It's like somebody if it's all night elf maps and how do you pick that? Like I right now I put all the maps on an Excel sheet and I try to spread them out and we do it like that and make sure all the maps get played out balanced wise. Norchakar won that. Glaive, he finished second, and then we have Jedi and Echo Goodman that finished third and fourth. Man, and we had you played in this one too, and we had Glaive, we had Psych, we had Sarai, we had Aox Destroyer, Smog, Jedi, Kurt, PSJ, Echo, Williams, Dazzle, Transylvania, Dr. Jones, Slayer, Lord Michael, Echo Goodman, Tristan, Air, Kenny, Doom, yourself, and Cage. And Cage beat you. Then he lost to Kenny. Man, Cage beat you. But don't you have Cage's number now? Like, when was the last time you
No.
played him?
I couldn't even tell you. I'm still trying to get a show match against him for like a best of 5 or something.
And then Norchakar went to the finals and beat Glaive, and it was all best of ones. So it was all best of one. So like, we're changing the format at the beginning. We're trying to different things. What was this? This was Show Match Friday, January 26th of 2024. And yeah, we did the Pato versus Inspired best of 5 and then ended up playing all maps. Well, it says best of 3, but I think we did best of 5, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, Pato ended up donating his money to Inspired. This Inspired as a student. Oh, that's what they did. Okay, so they did a best of 3, and then they did a second best of 3, but reverse races. And Inspired did take a map off of Pato in the first best of 3, so that was really cool. We tried that out, and this is when the stream at the beginning, like I wasn't generating any money at all, so it was really tough to like put stuff together, be like, hey, we got a little bit of money, can we do this, and I would accumulate any ad revenue and stuff like that. And then the first NA Cup was March 15th of 2024. So it's literally been a year of NA Cups, which is really cool. And if I click on this, if it's not slow, graphics are different. NA Cups, accumulating points to get an invite to NA Cup 6 because I didn't know where we were going with this. And this was the first double elimination event format that we did, best of 1 with a best of 3 finals, which we kept. So there's only 5 maps. And Cass was the first time winner. Priest came up in second, and we had Jay Perez, and then Mr. Winner. Mr. Winner's actually played in quite a bit of them, and this, you also played in this. You played in a lot of them, but we've had a lot of. We've had Cass, Sarai, Kurt, you, Franzi, Sora, Slayer, Penguin, Old Greg, BFR, Mr. Winner, Jay Perez, Burrow Rush, Kakariko Sadaraka, Ice Soldier, Air, Dr. Jones, Soft Ice Cream, King Abel, Priest, AKM, Legit Cage, Tidalius, Kenny, Totoro, Troa, and Yashar played. And then we had the bottom bracket. And this ended up being. Priest ended up in the final. So that was the beginning of NA Cup 1. And we've stuck to that format this whole time for NA Cups, which I think has gone really well. People really like them with the double elimination, best of 1s or the best of 3 finals. It doesn't take super long, and it's one game, so it's either you're trying to finish it really fast or you're being really conservative and trying to make it go the distance. I don't. It's been a couple of times where we had 30 to 45-minute games, but I don't know. What's your opinion on the NA Cups since we've done them? Because we've literally haven't changed them.
No, I mean it's a good format. The thing is for a lot of players, they want to, if you get like 20, 30 people, that's a lot of people. And if you do a best of 3, you're going to be there till 8 o'clock the next day.
Yeah.
Between picks, bands, especially certain matchups where they're becoming more macro oriented instead of like all itty. So the best of 1 definitely helps with the double elimination. And as far as the trickle down is, what the meta is, what are the top pros doing? So obviously it's going to trickle down to players are just going to regurgitate that. So if it's fast expand, regardless of what race you are, the lower MMR players are just going to adapt to that, to the meta defining shifts. So I think if you're going to go two base, 30-minute game, best of one is probably going to be the best format. Because if you want 3 games of, an hour and a half for a series, and you still have how many series to go, this
Yeah.
takes too long,
Yeah.
especially for a Friday or a Saturday.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, when we did Mayo Cup 1 with the old format, with the standard format, we thought we'd do it over 2 weeks on the Friday. I think it was Fridays. The date's there, but I don't know if that was Friday. Probably Fridays. And I thought when I was putting together NA Cup, I was thinking, I'm going to stream at night, go as long as we need to go. But the best of one with at least the double elimination gives somebody like a chance. Like we've had players get bounced to the bottom bracket and like climb all the way back up, which has been really cool. There's been a lot of upsets in the NA Cups, lots of upsets. Notable ones, I think Penguin beat Fear and he defeated Mr. Winner. And there were a couple others I'm trying to loot. I think I want to say Smog defeated somebody better than him. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was a couple other notable ones. But like maybe Cage had beat somebody that he shouldn't have beat, and there's been a lot of like really some banger games coming out when we do them, and guys showing up, and some I really like we put up the money from the stream, whatever comes in, guys. The donations, the subs, the stuff like that. So the money for the prize pools really has come from the stream and whatever the stream generates, which for the most part hasn't generated a lot up until recently. And we're just plugging everything back in. So we kept it, some of the first NA Cups were $10. NA 1, 2, 3, I think. 4. And then I think at maybe 4 I changed it to 50, and then I was like, okay, it's gonna be 50 all the time because then it gets listed on Liquipedia. And so I made enough to cover that. And I thought that was good because people really like, even the lore and Mirai guys, like they like looking at the Wikipedia and checking out, say, hey, I played here and I played here and my stats are there. And when we getting the spicy Doom Cup, yes, well, Doom had didn't you have an EMA Cup?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And then, yeah. So I hosted one cup, and I think that's the only cup I'll ever host because I changed it to open bracket. Well, no, so I changed it to 1,500 and up because too many people complained about it. So I said, okay, here you go. Then, if you want to complain about trying to abuse your MMR to fit under it. So I changed it to open because there was a few people that weren't happy, and they Discord me. They wrote me, and I just said, you know what? Here you go. So yeah, Hipposaurus won that tournament against Sora, and Sora played really well that whole tournament. And but Hippo was on another level. I mean, just like 2 footmen defend in the peon line all the time on autumn leaves. But yeah, it's just like kind of what comes around is you want to try to do good for the community, and people aren't happy regardless of what you do. So
Yeah.
like it was a free tournament, and people still complain about the bracket. There was like 5, 6 people that complained about the bracket. I just said, okay, then I'm changing the MMR to 1,500, like open. Here you go.
Yeah. So that's a good point to touch upon because we had some difficulties in the beginning with keeping the cups competitive with MMRs. Like, what do we do? 1,400 and under? How do we check all the stuff? Where are we casting the games? So, granted, W3C is great, and you can cast games on delayed with flow, so that's good. And a couple times at the beginning when we were doing it, we bounced around between the two, and we did some of them live. Baron's like, this just in, people suck. Yeah, people do suck. And now it's always on flow, just because you can't trust anybody. Even the players you think you can trust and I won't throw any names out there, but I've heard some rumblings of certain people that I would consider good people that have been doing it recently too. That they'll, maybe they're having a bad day and they want to just like a good kick of like I want to feel good, and then they pop up the stream and watch somebody and they try to stream snipe or whatever the case. Ghosting, is it called ghosting? I don't know. And they do it, and like it's just it happens. Let's say it just happens, and it shouldn't happen, right? People cheat, whether it's good intentions, bad intentions. They cheat, or they're having a bad day. They do it, and so we'll do it on Flow, and great, we have Flow TV, fantastic. And then you have people, and like I covered this in that rant on a YouTube video from a stream that we did. Do you remember? I cut it and I put it, and I was ranting and I was swearing for the first time on stream, and I was complaining about the Ukrainian player who was smurfing for $10 and trying to be Bon Vanessa or Conanessa or whatever the name was, and it was so frustrating because not only that they did that, I had to reset the Mayo bracket, and it's on Wikipedia, which was Mayo Cup 3. Oh, here, we can even go see it right now. It was Spicy Mayo Cup 3, which was 1800 and under. And it was Congetto de Febbraio, which was like almost an Italian name, with a Ukraine flag, which was Nico, who was smurfing to get under. And then he messaged me later, right? And we had to reset this bracket and redo it. He messaged me later apologizing and saying, can he be not banned again and all this stuff. And I'm just like, man, what you did was just stupid. One, you insulted me, disrespected me, which is just no go. Like, if you know me in person, like, just, it's not good. Don't do that. You disrespected the community. It's not a lot of money, but a sum of $50. If somebody's donating to the stream or subbing to the stream and I'm giving it back, that's people's money. So you're taking from the community, which you're supposed to be part of, right? And then you send me a message saying you need the money because there's no electricity, but you're playing Warcraft in a war. Like, don't, like that. I could not accept that. I could not accept that. The last straw was I'm playing Warcraft during a war and I need $10. Like, I'm sorry, I just couldn't accept that lie. I'm sorry. And then he sent people to message me of his friends and people with like a whole written, like welled out written thing about um how he was a good guy and all this stuff, and can we let him back in the community? And my answer was no. You're done. You're banned permanently. And if I ever catch a smurf from you again, I'm gonna ban that one too. That wasn't okay. Like, it really wasn't okay. And then he had the audacity to message me and tell me that if I let him in, that he can help me out because he's an actor and a movie producer. And I just, it's like, no, leave me alone. This is so stupid. So there's him, right? I'm not joking, Rainer. This is true. So there's him. So that kind of stuff happened. And then we have guys trying to break into these cups or these events and try to get under the MMR. So I was just recently talking to North Shakar about it. And then we're doing Spicy Mayo Cup 5 next Friday on March 28th. And how are we going to be specific with the MMRs? Like, a hard cap is hard to do. I want a hard cap, but it's hard to do. Let's do a flex cap. What's the flex cap? 2 months between 1800 and 1850 up until the cup. If there's any degree of tanking your MMR before, you'll be taken out of the bracket. Minimum, let's say 2 seasons played in W3C, because now the Smurf players, and I say Smurf players, the players who are making Smurf accounts and Smurf Discord accounts, because there's some of them now that joined the Discord that are in the bracket now of said Spicy Mayo Cup, and in a couple of Discords that are blowing up gym Discord messages and Ergoholics and ours. Well, not so much ours because they're trying not to reveal themselves too much. I know who it is. They go out of they're so sophisticated now. They actually make this whole persona, and they get like 4 or 5 different new accounts for this, and then they spend days and hours investing in time playing games. There's one particular individual who I've been talking about, went to do his placement games. You might be here listening. This is great. I'm waiting on confirmation to see who it is, but the first 5 placement games, they're literally 4 minutes and 20 seconds a piece. The Night Elf build of this person for an under 1,000 MMR player is to the T by the second perfect. Takes the Demon Hunter, AOW creeps a camp clean with an archer, clean and under 1,000 MMR, runs the Demon Hunter all the way to the opponent's base to kill some stuff and lets it die to a burrow or random stuff without microing it, but did all the other micro prior. Smashing APM over 100 to 200 easily in their sleep. Tanks 5 games like that. Then plays a bunch of random games, 20 minutes here, 19 minutes here, whatever. And then has the audacity to go say, hey guys, I'm 900 MMR. Looks like I settled there. When you just beat over 1,000 MMR players and you tanked your placement games with perfect precision. And I know exactly who plays like that. And I couldn't believe it. And I was like, man. So I go ask around. I go watch all the games because I had some time. I watched some of the games. And I'm like, this account's a smurf. 100%. They made a Discord account. They joined 5 Discords on March 16th. They avoided ours. And the reason why they avoided ours first is because the last time this happened, they joined ours first and then the others. And I said on stream, don't do that. It's stupid. Do the reverse. I literally told them what to do months ago. And then they went and did it. March 16th, they joined 5 Discords. Then March 17th, they joined ours. They're trying to build their reputation or persona by getting other people to know them in the other Discords. Then recently said they'll probably be 1,500 MMR in a month. So clearly they're in an accelerated growth rate with expectations to play well, to meet expectations to be certain cups. I mean, like I need evidence of the person. I'm looking at all this and I've dealt with enough of these guys to know like this is bullshit. Then I got a message from one of the big organizers that we love to watch in the last cup and said this particular person is a Smurf account. And guess who it is? Muscle Mike. Muscle Mike tries to get into Mayo Cups and cups all the time. He tries to get into the Discord all the time. He probably might even be there now. Like, if he's here now, Mike, I'm telling you, the reason why I don't let you play in any of the cups is because everybody tells me you're a racist asshole, and you've had bad reputation, right? That's why you're not allowed to play, because I don't want to associate myself with that. Just like I joined a bunch of Discords, and I went to a certain Discord, clan Discord, DKK or whatever it is, and somebody messaged me nicely with a nice message, said, I want to collaborate, share each other's Discord. I'm like, no problem, it's great. Get there, see some of the stuff they're posting and some of the names, and it was disgusting. And then I messed somebody in the gym community messaged me and said, this is not a good place. And I'm like, you're right. I didn't know. I had no idea. I haven't been around that long. I didn't know. Messaged him, said, sorry, I can't associate with you guys. No hard feelings. Boom, done. I don't want anything to do with that. Get rid of that. Some of the guys come back in. They like hope that your Discord burns in a wildfire or flames or whatever. It won't happen. That won't happen. But anyways, there's that stuff. And then there's people recently trying to get back in, and people that have been banned, and we go back to the Kadark situation, and Baron brought the receipts and showed all the pictures. Like, you're making, multiple accounts on Twitch and multiple accounts on here, and making 1,000 W3C accounts. Nobody likes that. And like, I know, like Doomtrain, you had your account, and then you had APM50. That's okay. Baron has not Shuttle Bus. What was the other one?
Struggle
Bus, and then React.
React.
Yeah. But you get to a certain MMR, and sometimes you want to change your account. 1, 2, 3 accounts. I get it. But to have like 1,000 W3C accounts. The Struggle Bus. I was thinking Shuttle Bus. I don't know why I was thinking Shuttle Bus. But to have that many accounts it's not normal. Like clearly there's a obsession about MMR and winning in ELO, and it's not okay. And I've said don't do it. Stop doing it. And if you've done anything in the past that's really stupid like that, and you've stream sniped or you're ghosting people or you're talking stupid or whatever, maybe you come on your stream and you not your stream doing, but like the said person's stream, and you completely just be honest, be like, I'm a cheater, I've done this, I made mistakes, I apologize. Maybe people will be like, okay, cool. You know, no moron in this community that I know of has come out and done that, right? None of them, because they got no balls and they're all cowards, right? I'll tell it like it is because it's true. Hide behind their computers and that's how they act. But maybe people would have a little bit more respect for you if you did that. Not saying if you're a racist and stuff and you came out and did that, people would still tell you to go F yourself, but that's another story. Anyways, the whole point is going back to what you were saying about the cup and people complaining is on top of all these smurfs and these people and all this stuff, what I've had to deal with, and Baron said it early on, he was like, welcome to organizing events and leagues, because that's what it is. People are complaining and stuff. I've had people message me and complain about certain people and stuff, and I've had other people message me and say, look, you should take a look at this, or maybe you should do this. And I appreciate the positive constructive feedback more than anything else, but I've also, nobody's asking you to sign up via money, like here, $10 entry fee. Nobody's asking you to do that. It's free, it's open, you can play, have fun, don't spoil it for the community, put on a good show. You don't want to play, don't play. You can't stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, don't play. Or if you want to, drink coffee. What can I tell you? There's been some disgruntled people about things, and I've been clear about, starting on time. Your match is in 10 minutes. As soon as the bracket gets set, boom, be ready. You're not there because your Uber just came and is bringing you your food and you want the person to wait 20 minutes. No, sorry, it's not okay. It just happened in the last cup too, and I said no, it's not okay. DEF win for the other person. Boom, done. You're done. You're going to lower bracket. Oh, you do it again. Boom, you're done. Like there's just some guys who do stupid things or have no respect, or they just like, yeah, it's a game, but at the same time, like, this game is being played by grown ass adults, and I don't see grown ass adults. I see a bunch of grown ass acting stupid, really acting stupid, right? I mean, jump in if you want to interrupt me anytime to add some commentary, but it's been bugging me. Like, I've been really keeping my mouth shut about stuff, but it's been really bugging me just the way some people have been acting, and then there's other stuff that I won't get into. But in terms of the cups, that's been the biggest issue, is how do you filter the MMRs and the Smurfs? So, the community is really the best way. The guys that message you and say, well, this is the person I met on ladder, or somebody's or Baron or Vontu, or somebody's like, or Grinchy says, this is a guy that's bad with scheduling, or this guy's a bad communicator. This guy has been known to underplay his MMR, which there's been a bunch of those guys. How many guys do we know? There's Baron. Muscle Mike tried to join a gym cup before. We accidentally kicked him for another reason, and he cursed me out on his main account.
That's 1,000 times funnier, Baron. Yeah. Man, my hot takes are just, people, like I've said to other people, if you don't like the way it's being organized, then run your own cup. Throw out your own money, or figure a way to get your money and throw your own cup and organize your own tournament. I mean, it's no sweat off my back that we kick you. There's going to be one more other person that'll come in and play.
Yeah.
And I think for the hard caps, I mean, it's very hard to do that because, like I've said time and time again, where there's money, people will throw away their integrity, and it could be as little as $5, could be as much as 50, but people will, on their own volition, throw away their integrity for a couple dollars, which is very sad. So if they're throwing their career, which is a very small player pool we already have, and it's going to echo even further to other organizers or just the community in itself, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. That's all there is to it. It doesn't matter. I mean, people ghost, and it's attached to the Wikipedia now. and or people are trying to play under Smurfs to tank MMR to feel good about themselves. Why? You have another issue if you want to tank an MMR to win $5.
This is the best part. It's over nothing. It's not like those big gaming tournaments where like there's $1,000 on the line. It's like I try to raise my MMR and I would pay $5 to do so. You know,
I'll have Sunshine play on my account to raise my MMR to 1550, please. No, it's in all seriousness, it's super frustrating. Which the dynamic is then it's just going to make people disperse out instead of coming together. Because of certain things like this. So as much as you want to try to do good for the community, as much people just want to tear it down and watch the world burn.
yeah. If you guys are in the Twitch chat or in the Discord and you want to come jump in, you can come jump in, boys. It won't be a King of the Hill special where we yell at politics all the time, but if you want to come give your 2 cents, you're more than welcome to come join us. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get, like, I've sent a couple of people money in the last year, like, not because they want anything, just because. And everything we've generated from this, given it all out. So I'm like calculating, enough of this, enough of this, enough of this. Maybe I shouldn't be doing it, but at the same time, um, like I said, I stuck around with the Warcraft with you guys and Jim and everybody because when I was really down and out, like it was you guys that were around when I was alone, and I love the game and everyone's been super good to me. So I'm like, let me do something, And originally I thought maybe I would do this in Gym, and then there's a lot going on there, so I was just like, I'll just start my own Discord and see if anybody wants to come do some events and games. And I guess they do enjoy doing it because we're growing, despite some of the naysayers and despite the trolls. But that's why we're here to talk about what we've done well, what we've done wrong, what stupid things have been going on, and funny stories, and those type of stuff. But I appreciate the camaraderie with guys, and some guys message me, "How's your day? What's going on? How's your health? How's this?" We've done it. Slay Day's been around since the beginning. Williams has been around since the beginning. Casting, and it's a good dynamic. I enjoy that, and people used to make fun of Williams when I came around. I was like, this guy is the way he is, and then when you learn about people, and you're like, okay, same thing with Kadark. It's like I don't know his history about what he's done. I could be told, but some people I give a leash to, or I give the benefit of the doubt. Be like, you're not going to do that again, or you're going to change, or whatever. I mean, obviously, there's certain people that I won't, and we mentioned, Muscle Mike, and I'm sorry, I don't know you personally. You never done anything to me, but you've done a lot to other people, and I just can't, I can't. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't accept it because there's other people that are hurt about it and dislike it, and I don't want to ostracize them. It's yeah, I don't want to condone the behavior. Like I don't, but there's certain things like being an asshole and being racist. Is that the same as making multiple accounts and stream sniping people? No. So to me, there's a line that's different. All of it's dumb, but it's different. It's a small community. You don't want to ostracize anybody or tolerate certain things, but yeah. So he's done it all. So listen. If everybody's telling me that, I'm sorry. Just can't allow that. Like it's just not my cup of tea. Like I know there's people out there that think I'm like some kind of right wing, super MAGA or whatever conservative, which I got messages about. Am I not? I'm a centrist. I've always been I'm a liberal for the most part in Canada. I complain about my government because that's what I like to do. I like Canada to be well, and I like that kind of stuff. But like, I'm also work as a teacher, and I wouldn't act like that in front of children, so I wouldn't act like that to adults. And there's a certain way I go about stuff, and maybe it's people make fun of me because I'm Canadian, and I apologize all the time. And they say, "Hey,
That like I said, you want to try to do good, and then it's just like, the sour apples really do leave a bad taste in your mouth. So that it's like, what do you just suck it up and continue, or do you just like, you know what, fuck it. If you want to ruin it, here you go. Good job.
Yeah.
So, like to Baron's point, he stopped hosting cups. Me, I just see it, that people will do anything, you know, for anything, desperation or to fulfill some kind of alter ego, or I can't have it so that nobody else can have it. So, it's very sad that, you're 40 years old, like you said, a bunch of drama girls. I'm one of those myself. And
Listen, you've had your episodes, and you got your own stuff going on, and but I know you talked to me about the persona thing. I'm a persona. I
yeah,
do this. I'm gonna play the bad guy, and I'm gonna do this on stream. And
yeah,
people listen. People like it. People do like it because they come watch you, and then you get banned for 4v4. And then some people message me like, do you know this Doomtrain asshole? Like he keeps freaking like shitting me out, like trash talking me in fours. I'm like, yeah, he's a good guy. No, he said this to me in chat. I'm like, but he's just doing it to do it. He doesn't like really mean it. Like you know,
no, I don't mean it at all. No, because you know what? I'm the same person. I'll DM you a Discord. What's going on? Are you okay?
yeah,
It's the same thing because I generally worry about everybody.
yeah. But like, if you're doing the streaming stuff and you're trying to like, 'cause we talked about it. Like, there's what's his face there, that just came back to streaming after his allegations there. The big Call of Duty streamer.
I have no idea.
The guy
I don't
with
pay
the guy with
attention.
the glasses and the wig with the vest, the tactical vest.
Oh, Doctor Disrespect.
Okay, I don't know
Yeah.
why I couldn't remember his name. Doctor Disrespect. Like, outside of his issues that he's been accused of stuff and whatever and all these things, like he drew up. You ever see an interview of him talking about his persona? He created this persona to be the bad guy, and it's like he's like, well, I was already trash talking people for fun in the game. He's like, somebody's like, let's just do this and become a streamer and see where it goes. And he took it and he did it. And when I think of what you said, that's what he did. And it's like, it's just, he maybe goes over the top or things he says, but it's part of his gimmick. That's why I always said to you, maybe you should wear a dress or a wig or something on the street. But
I just don't wear a shirt. I'm the shirtless gamer that flames. And and some people just come in like, that's a really funny insult. That's a really funny bird. That I get people to do those grunt matches where I just flame them so bad in fours that I get to fight them 1v1, and then I destroy them physically, mentally, and I love it. And I love it. I break them down in all facets.
yeah,
But sincerely, I wish nothing but the best for everybody. So, the tough guy, the flaming, it's like, honestly, it's to generate views, and it really does, because people come in and they're like, "Oh, you suck," and I go, "Yeah, man, I know I suck, but I beat you. So what does that tell you?" Really just get in the heads of people, and I really enjoy it.
yeah. Stomp Bubble says Dr. Disrespect doesn't realize this isn't 1999 or early 2000s. With Discord and community growth, you can no longer act like a total ass on the web anymore. Well, anything you say or do is super documented. Like, I'm sure there's some.
Yeah.
I know there's a Facebook. You guys will never find it, and I've never found it. But because I was on Facebook when Facebook came out, when it was just for universities, and there was a picture circulating of me chugging beers, or video of me chugging like Stone Cold Steve Austin beers, but big, really, like, I was pouring down me. It was crazy. And that popped up like, man, that popped up like 15 years ago, and it was not great quality, and I just couldn't believe that still existed. And I don't care, like, man, I have no shame, like, if I'd done stuff like that, like, I was out having a good time, but like, it's funny. And then I knew that this guy I went to school with, well, he was in a different program. He was going to school to be a lawyer, and he was like petrified. I don't know about if it's the same for you, Baron, but he was petrified to have anything like that leak out, because if it gets out, he'll never get hired by a firm. And he was just like, it was just crazy. Long gone are the days of convincing a 12 to 14-year-old to go to his parents' credit card and read you the numbers and expiry date. Well, the guys I used to hang out with used to go to the corner store, or what we called the depanner, the dep, and they would go buy beer underage, and the owner of these said corner stores or depanners always were immigrants, so Chinese or Sri Lankan, in certain areas, right? And we live in Quebec's predominantly French area, and they would come out with like a case of 24, no problem. And the guys knew they were selling beer to the kids. They were just like, give me your money, go have a good time. Like they didn't care. That was back then. And Dr. Disrespect, he created the character. It's the same character. It worked. And maybe he's done some nefarious stuff. Maybe he was convinced. Maybe he was like wasn't convicted of anything. But like, some guys, they get into money and they things and they do stuff and they're not thinking. Like, that's not the stuff I'm talking about. We're just talking about like just being silly for the sake of, hey, you want to come join us? Just welcome join us. But yeah, but for anybody that does want to come join us in the Discord and voice, you may come. Even if you come for 30 seconds and want to say hi, come on down. So anyways, we went on a real tangent doing about this stuff, about cups and whatever. Anyway, so we started NA Cup 1 in 2024 in March. We're a year later. We're at NA Cup 14, which is coming up on April 11th. And I don't know, I feel like we've done the NA Cup 6 bigger invitation where it kept track of points, and now the big track of the points for NA Cups is going to be till NA Cup 17, which will be probably in August. Yeah, it's a year now, and then by August it will be another little bit. We get, why does my thing keep turning off? I don't know why it does that. I don't know. I feel like the NA Cups have been successful. Do you hear that? Do you hear
Hear
that?
what?
You don't hear it? Maybe the guys on stream hear it. Mike Chef, what MMR do you need for NA Cup? Starting playing this season and getting up to 1500 MMR. I don't know. We got too many mics. I'm reading the Twitch chat. It's open MMR to anybody in NA Cups. But yeah, so NA Cup 17 will, again, like I'll get to NA Cup 17. I'll reevaluate if it's something we continue doing. If it's not, if anybody doesn't want to do it anymore, we want to still do it, I'll do it. The spicy Mayo Cups I said we'd bring back. You're gonna rebrand yourself to Mr. Mike MLT, or you rebrand yourself to Mr. Mike BLT. Oh, I just took my joke, dude. He just took my joke. So the idea on the table is to continue doing NA Cups, continue doing Mayo Cup and Spicy Mayo Cup, and rotating them every month. And also, we're introducing, since you guys are here, there's a bunch of you here. Yeah, unless your first name is Muscle. We're introducing Golden Mayo Cup. Okay, I'm telling you guys this here. Maybe I've tried to turn that sound down so much and it doesn't go down for some reason.
Mike Chef just followed.
Yeah, thanks for the follow, buddy. We're introducing Golden Mayo Cup, and Golden Mayo Cup is not a golden shower, Doomtrain. It is, and I will show you guys. If we go to the challenge page, I should change this, but whatever. We got 14 for spicy mayo. Nobody signed up for NA Cup 14. They will. If you guys want to sign up, it's there. This is spicy, and this is golden mayo. So what's going to happen with golden mayo? It's that it's a best of one double elimination. I bounce around some ideas. So it's a best of one double elimination, similar to all the events that we've done. It's open to all regions. If Doomtrain wins and gives the money back, can he have one? I'll let the person he beats do that for him. I won't do it. We can ask AKM or somebody. Korea. And so it's the same standard. It's the double elimination, best of one with the best of three finals. The difference this time is that obviously it's no MMR cap for Mayo Cup because all the Mayo Cups have had MMR cap. I have to edit this because I said this originally, but the plan really, because I have no date for this yet because we're still in the works, is that it's going to be a double elimination, best of 3 rounds in the top bracket, best of 5 finals in the top bracket in the finals. And if you get demoted to the bottom bracket, it is best of 1 games in the bottom bracket. So it's going to be a longer tournament with more on the line, harder games. I suspect we'll get a lot more players. It's not NA servers only; it is all servers. So you have to, use the best server between whoever you're playing against. It could be your Euro guy, it could be an NA guy. The difference with Golden Mayo is that we're not going to do it all the time. It's going to be maybe once every 3 months, or maybe once a year on the par. Maybe like a Renaissance Cup when it just happens occasionally. But the prize pool is going to be significantly bigger. It's not going to be $50. It's going to be significantly bigger, which means when it comes to the bracket, we're going to be really particular in that you have to add X amount. We're going to add more rules in for that. You're going to have X amount of seasons played, X amount of games played on your current season. So let's say it's season 21. Let's say you're going to have a minimum of 100 games played for season 21 and a minimum of 3 seasons. Open MMR. Bigger prize pool. However, we're not doing the standard map pool. We are having maps made for this event, and they've been currently being worked on. And if you want to see them, you go to the Discord, !Discord. In the maps channel, there's Figglewig has been working on them. They're his maps, and he's been fine tuning them. Players have been testing them. And there's going to be 5 maps, right? I think 3 are kind of ready. We're getting there. There's going to be 5 maps. That's why we haven't announced the date. We haven't announced the date yet because we're waiting to fine tune the maps, and some of the pros have seen these maps. Okay. Some of the pros have seen these maps, and there's good feedback. There's really good feedback. They're different. I'd say put it to you like this: they're different. If you want to go try them, do them. If you want to try your hands at it, whatever the case may be, they're there. They're in rough draft currently, version 25 of each of them. I don't know which ones are posted, but they're there, and they're really beautiful. There's a lot of different tile sets. There's the different creeps. They're trying to make the creeps balanced, so there's a bit of a meta, so you can actually go to a green, go to a lab, go to your expo, get your level 3, go do whatever. I was helping test one earlier today where we're just like, if I call to arms and I run across this map with my militia in a straight line, I don't aggro the creeps and I tower rush this person just like Doom would do. We can't do that, right? Obviously, so we're testing things out. We've had some intense games on those maps, so that's the difference. It's going to be a longer bracket, double elimination, best of 3 top, best of 5 finals, best of 1 in the lower bracket, 5 custom maps, special maps that Figglewig has been working on, and a bigger prize pool. Open all MMRs. If you are not allowed to play, you cannot play. And there's going to be specific rules into the amount of games you had played in season 21 and how many seasons you played. So it won't be for new players. So if you come out of the woodworks with a fake Discord account, a fake Twitch account, a fake W3C account, or if you're 20,000 W3C accounts, like, it's not acceptable. And we find out. And then you just look stupid, which has been a lot of these people. Don't smurf for $10. Well, in this case, it's going to be a lot more. But so that's Golden Mayo Cup, and that's happening, I presume, unless things change and we need more time, at the end of April. It might be later. So you can go sign up for it. That's something we're going to spend more time checking the bracket and accounts and stuff like that, and try to get a little bit more help. It won't be all the time. I think it's going to be one of those special things that we do. And no, it's not a golden shower. And Doom, if you do win, you can ask Baron to do it for you.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, remind them, okay? So that's the story with Golden Mayo Cup, and the idea is to continue Spicy Mayo Cup like we've done because I've gotten good feedback on the Spicy Mayo Cups, and I'd like to do the Mayo Cups. We had a really good Mayo Cup the last time, regular Mayo Cup. We had a lot of new players. We had a lot of some really great games, some feedback from guys, and like obviously we wanted to be catering a little bit to everybody's. We'd love to do 1,000 only MMR Cup, but then I'm doing 1,000 different cups, and then there's not enough money to go around or things. And I know we want to try to keep it fun and engaging for everybody. And then, having said all that, those are the cup, and then we got the league, and we tried the league. The league's a little bit more harder to run than the cups. So, where can you donate? If you'd like to donate, you could just send it directly to me via Stream Elements. On my main Twitch page or whatever it is, there's a link on it. I'll pool all the stuff to go back into events and stuff. Yes, boy. What's up?
Jesus just followed.
Yeah. Doom, you wanna continue talking to everybody for 2 seconds?
Yeah, of course I can. So we got the NASF League. So I believe there's going to be season 2, which is in the works. I know the issue though is like with Fountain of Manor 2 is scheduling issues, and then people agreeing to times and dates, and then don't show up. As far as my recollection, so I mean it's tough when people have different times, but I mean, word is if you're going to say you're going to be there, then you don't show up. I mean that's the issue I have, but that's scheduling. So, yeah, just very unfortunate. I know there's some stuff going on between a few players and in general that I know. I mean, luckily for our group, we didn't really have any big issues. Mike is looking extremely handsome. Was fun. And ASF, yeah. Shout out to Sick, the GOAT.
What I miss?
Oh, we were just talking about the North America safety farts.
Oh, that's a good name. I didn't know what to name it. Honestly, it's like Mayo Cup. I didn't know what to name the cup at the beginning, and because that was the running joke at the time in gym, I was like, I'll just call it Mayo Cup and run with it. So, NASF is North American Show Match Friday League. Very long, but
Oh, I thought it stood for nice ass smelly farts.
yeah. Well, I was telling my wife that today. If we fart into a can of coffee and contain it and then seal it, we can use that as a grenade on somebody later.
40 stream streak, Matthew?
Holy cow.
Dedicated.
That is crazy, dude. Man.
How come you telling me you're going to be in my stream and then you go for a gallon of milk and you don't come back, Matthew? You can EMA.
You can EMA. Yeah, well, I was just talking about that today. Well, I talked to Hitman really briefly, and Hitman was in the league, and Hitman's been in some cups. He went MIA with the league because of in real life stuff, and that's, in real life is more important. I think he's back playing on both accounts. He's playing. I saw him playing Night Elf. I saw him playing some Orc. W3C tournaments coming back, the finals for the invite only. I mean, he's the best NA player, so I'd like to see him play. But you got to be able to commit and be a little bit more, what's the word? Reliable for stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, real life's real life, but still. So, the next show match, I was talking about it. I'd like to get a really big show match on any time on Friday night, one night, and maybe put something towards that, like a best of 7, like something really big that would take up the whole night, that the guys would really enjoy. So we're gonna sit on that for a while and think about it. Maybe it would be a summer, But if anybody wants to volunteer to, put on a show match, any MMR really, we've done a lot of them in the past. We've been doing more community FFA in the last couple of months. Guys really enjoy doing that. Yeah, I heard Sunshine defeated Baron on the ladder, which Sunshine is sneaky good too. He's like Penguin. We don't really know their MMR, right? They're sneaky good, but Sunshine's super knowledgeable. Sunshine, you want to come pop on, hey man? Come join us. Really knowledgeable about the game. Really like can teach you, coach you. Shout out to Legic. Now we're just gonna do shout outs, but we're gonna get back to the league stuff. Shout out to Legic and the guys in the Discord. We got Nurture Car and Min. We've had Slate A here since the beginning. We've had Doom in and out, but Doom's back. We've had, casters. We have a Cage who's helped us out a bunch. Just the guys that are active and participate and show good faith in the community and, are really acting respectfully for the most part and, trying to be good characters, not NPCs, but good characters in the community because we're really at least a small sliver of the pie and we diverge from here and here and we share everybody right for the most part, so we try to keep up the same standards that everybody else does, but having said that, I'm having a lot of brain farts today, but so the leak stuff, just like I started with Slayer, we started because I wanted to start streaming and casting was an option for Fountain Manor, so I tried that because I was getting out of the podcasting stuff, and I liked it. And I was trying to learn and get better and get better and get better, and the stream has changed and that stuff. And I got to a point where I was comfortable, and then we were like, let's do show matches. Okay, let's do this. Let's do a Discord. Let's do this. Let's run cups. All right. Let's do silly stuff. All right. Let's do a league now. And a lot of the times I do things not out of spite of other people or because I want to do things better, but I want to do things where I feel like I would want to play. Like, it's very difficult to schedule stuff with European players, NA players, and it's very frustrating. And I feel that frustration. So let me go run NA Cups with NA servers because how many times do NA players go to a Back to Warcraft event or another event and you have to play against a German guy and the ping is horrible for you and it's not fun. It's really not fun. And I've had that experience many times. And that's one thing, but then scheduling with certain people, hyper real reforms this guy.
Hyperial one just followed.
Why did you just follow? Did you get banned or something? What happened here? I don't know, Doom, your experience with that is that you click the wrong button. Okay, you just want your name announced on stream. I've had plenty of difficulty scheduling with the Euro guys. Always the Euro guys. And
Euro and ping, 100%.
Like there's your ping, and then there's the scheduling with them because they want it on their time. Granted, our times are completely different. I'm in a situation now where my schedule is so tight. I only do this at night. I can't stream. I can't even play in King of the Hill on Saturdays. Like it just can't. And Fountain Manor, for example, happened, and to ask Grinchy, Fountain Manor this time around, like the players have been so difficult for scheduling. A lot of the European guys have been so difficult to schedule. I've had it, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm going to resign the rest of my games. It's not that I don't care and I don't want to do that. It's frustrating, and it's not normally. I'm not normally the type of guy to do that stuff, but it was like there's a lot going on. I just, when the person's playing Warcraft 3 on ladder, and I message them say, I'm home today. I'm not normally home during the day. Can we play right now? You're laddering. They're like, no, I have to prepare against you. No, you don't. I haven't played in 2 weeks. Let's just play. And they're like, well, no, I got to watch your replays and I got to see how you play. And it's like, I don't have time for this shit. So after that, I resigned. I said I just had no patience anymore because they want the best ping. They want it on their time. They want to know exactly what you're doing. And yeah, they did legit. Okay, a couple of them did say that, and I just after I get into the if I said take all this serious, I told Grinchy, I told Greg, I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And if anybody ever did any of that shit in our Discord in our league, I would boot them so fast. Just I just didn't like it. Like I really didn't like it. Left a bad taste in my mouth, right? Anyways, we're here to talk about the league and this stuff. So the reason why I started the league was because of this kind of stuff. And then and we did it. We did 6 divisions. Division F was not supposed to happen. The division with Stickla, Hitman, Inspired, the rest of them I'm having a brain fart about. That division was not supposed to happen, and the only reason why it happened is because a couple of people asked to be part of the league, and I didn't have anybody to play against them, and I said, sure, we'll make a waiting division. And then Hitman offered to play Night Elf if we didn't have anybody, and I said we didn't have anybody, and I don't want to do a division with 4 people. He said, great, I'll do it. So he did. For the most part, he played it, and that division was really hard to schedule stuff with. One of the players just like completely just disappeared, and so Inspired came in, and thank you, Williams. I was waiting for you. Oh man, I was waiting for you. Inspired came in and picked up the pieces in the end and played some, and then Stickla is what hovers around 2K MMR, and he was he was a good sport about it. Like he got to, I mean, you're kind of looking for a division that's your MMR. You don't want to play somebody who's like a 2400 player in your MMR bracket, right? In your division. I get it. It was frustrating. I felt this pain, and I said thank you for being a good sport about it because I was just trying to fill it's the first season, and I don't want this to happen again. So for me, right off the bat, like it's either the division happens and it's relatively close, or it's not. It's not the same as like a 16 to 1800 where you can kind of make that happen. A 2000 to 2400 jump is a big jump, and so um, for me, I don't want that to happen. I think even for Division A with Slate A winning, we had Phil like a mill, we had Forest Spirit, we had a bunch of guys in there, Hyper Real. I would have loved to have taken that division and divided it into 2 and had more, 6 and 700, 800 MMR players, but we didn't have the players. So we just took what we had available, who signed up. Some people I said no to because of other reasons, and we made the best we could. So, having said that, it's a work in progress, right? It's hard to find people, but there's an influx of new people, right? Having said that, I think the gym guys, yeah, but sometimes you post stuff in gym and people just don't read it. You know what I mean? Like I could post stuff everywhere and people don't read it. So unless somebody's really like advertising for you or really putting a good word out for you, it doesn't happen. Like you don't become a big streamer or a big organizer or anything unless somebody takes you by the hand and carries you and be like, hey, this guy, I love him, I'm gonna lick his ass, everybody follow him, go. Like no, but it's true. That's exactly what happens, right? And like it's happened recently too. Like that's what happens, right? It's the same thing on social media on X. Unless somebody takes you, like there's a lot of that shit that's going on, like instant celebrity ish, or prop this person up. That's what happens, anyways. But we haven't done that. We've been slow growth, right? We've been slow growth. We've been all community driven, and it's been word of mouth and that kind of stuff. But where was I going with this point now? I don't remember, but Doom, you can interrupt me anytime. I go on a tangent sometimes, and then my brain goes up and shit hawks, paw.
Sure, talking about the MMR discrepancy and like the not enough players and
Yeah, so
versus...
it's it's a work in progress, and I think we did good. I think we did well. There was, I think, one person, like there was Torch dropping out, who blew up. And I'll be honest, I'm not going to share his DMs, but blew up my DM saying I didn't understand how the matchmaking system worked, and I'm like, look, if there's a tie, it's going to work out. There's going to be tiebreakers. If we have to do a tie-breaking placement match of some sort in the division, we will. He didn't accept my answers and was bombarding my phone at 2 a.m, and I just had enough, so I just ignored him. And then he just kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, and I'm like, it's not okay. Don't do that. Like, don't go crazy over nothing. And stuff happens in life. I get it, but it was a bit too much. And then to resign after being in a good place, playing well and acting like that, I didn't like it. Which would never be allowed to get into play. I'm sorry, like I won't allow anybody to play again who's done that. It doesn't make any sense. If somebody's resigned from the league because of personal issues, because they have stuff going on in life, that's fine, no problem. If you resign because you didn't like somebody because you didn't schedule your games and you scheduled them 3 times with that person and then didn't show up on time and said, can we play another time? That's not okay either. And we're going to waitlist you or not allow you to play again. You know who I'm talking about. And then,
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
and I've got the DMs and I got the messages and I've seen the screenshots. So like, it's not okay. And the people who want to play, who asked to be in the league and ghosted, you're not going to be allowed to play again. I don't care how small the community is, because there's always somebody else that can replace you. There's always something we can do. Instead of 6 divisions, we might have 10. Instead of 10, we might have 4. I'm okay with it. No problem. So there's that, and I think that's out of my control, but more or less, we're going to try to eliminate that. There are some players that are really bad with communication, and it's not just happened in the league this time. It's happened in all the leagues and other cups. Those people will be waitlisted and probably will not be allowed to play, or maybe they will, but they have to be on the ball. It's an NA league. We want to run NA league, NA servers. That's why we're here to talk about you guys, with you guys, what we can do. Information on this tournament turn. Which one you want to know, Explosive? Follow me on Challenge and join and be
Explosive. The DS goat himself. Let's go.
Follow us on Challenge and also be in the Discord, because I post everything in the Discord, and then occasionally I'll post it around. Okay. The reason why I'm like we're doing it like this, like a call to arms episode. Hyperreal, if you want to come join us in the chat, you can come join us. It's because I just want to get more like feedbacks and stuff from people, like live and that kind of stuff. Do we do bigger divisions and less divisions? So like, I'm thinking it almost like soccer. Do we do a division of like 8 people or 16 people and 4 of them and do a longer season like soccer? Like, just hear me out. I'm just giving you all the ideas. And we do a longer season. So instead of 3 weeks, it's like 3 months. And you have 3 months to play all 15 opponents in a best of 3. And, the top X players make the playoffs. So say the top 8 make the playoffs in each division. And the bottom players of every division, so like the bottom 15 and 16, get demoted to the next division down the following season. That's an idea. We floated that. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. What do you think about that, dude?
Well, I like the relegation idea. I think the idea that, I mean, if you're already having scheduling issues with like 4 people or 6 people, I don't think it's going to be any better with like 15 people or 16 people, because, for some cups, for some divisions, from what I saw, it was like pulling teeth for the NASF.
Yeah.
I mean, you say you're going to be there. This is like what I said earlier while you were away, that, some people say they're going to be there ample amount of time, and then you're not there, and then you agree to a date, you don't show up, and then like what happened? Your PC caught on fire, or whatever shit happens, but you're playing the day before, or the day of, and I just think for a lot of people as adults, I'm not defending them. I'm just saying, like, if you agree to a date, you should be there. Doesn't matter who it is. I mean, if you got some personal stuff, I mean, I had a death in the family. I still played the week of that Friday. And so I think, legitimately, if there's something going on, sure, fine. But just, I feel like we need to have, like how poker, like a blacklist in general, of players that are either hard to schedule or players that don't show up. I'm sure you might have an idea of a few players, but I think something of like a blacklist really just to see not even iota.
I
Difficult to schedule. Tried 3 times, you're out. You're out.
yeah,
Doesn't matter. You're,
I've had this talk, and I brought it up, and I said, we need some kind of like waiver list or blacklist of players who are behaviors not inappropriate, who poor communicators, who smoke while they're playing Warcraft 3 like Hyperreal.
He's like, be right back. I got to smoke. I
those type of things. So that's a good idea, and we're gonna do it because I think we have to do it because I'm sorry if you're hearing banging in the background of the kitchen, but yeah. So there's that.
Why?
What's that?
Oh, nothing. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you
A
now.
little louder. All right,
It's
sweet.
good. It's good thing you. Just good thing you
All right,
didn't.
totally good.
It's a good thing you didn't fart, eh?
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. We're gonna hear it. Yeah. So I think we need some kind of running list of some sort, and maybe we'll generate also a waiver wire of free agents for some. Also, want to talk about the clan stuff after. Yeah. So there's that. But if not, like you said, Doom, there's scheduling is a big issue. I floated the idea of doing a World Cup of Warcraft, and that was going to be huge. I would have done it in the summer. I needed too many people to put that together, and I always thought about how big it would be in terms of prize pool, because we would have many divisions, not 4, not 6, many. Let's say 24 divisions, but 4 players each. So really like soccer. And you would randomly draw the players into these groups. So you can have a group of 4 2,000 plus MMR players, or you can have a group of 4 800 MMR players, or you can have a mix of them. And it would just be random, and then they would compete, in the top 2 players from every division and make it to the final stage. I thought about doing that. I thought about maybe something like that for the league. It would be less of a regular season, and you would make the playoffs instead of a best of one. You would actually do a playoffs where everybody makes it, so everybody would would win something from their division, maybe a smaller pool, and then you would maybe have some bounties, and then you would have the whole tournament prize for the entire league. So that's an option too. I don't know. What do you think about that?
would you call that the World of Warcraft, then?
Well, it would originally, I thought that would be a World of Warcraft Cup, right? Like a Warcraft Cup, like soccer. But then I thought about making that part of the league and doing it like that. And I was like, can we do this? Or do we do it in a way, because it's NA Cup. So do we do a division of Canada? Do we do a division of the United States? Or multiple divisions in the United States, like really keep it by country? And then do we do some off countries, even though it's NA, and do a German division, a Brazilian division? All these have been brought up by people, but I don't know what's more feasible, what makes the most sense, because it really depends on who signs up too.
That's the ultimate thing. Who signs up and where you got them from? Like, really?
Yeah, and if I go to, I know there's a bunch of feedback because we left the channel open for the feedback. So if I go back all the way to the beginning of this, Norchikar wanted to be Group A to be the highest MMR group because he kept getting confused. So I made Group A the first division, and then Group F because I'm in my head, alphabet goes it's smallest to biggest, right? Like one A is 1, go all the way up. But North Jakar said he thought Group A should be the higher MMR division players. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, because it's the opposite for FMLL, I think. Because I was Group A, like, which it's nice to be Group A now and then, you know, rather than Group M or P or.
Yeah, I didn't think anything of that because of the way I look at the
That's
alphabet.
good though. That's
So,
good.
King Abel says another option for the community of all MMRs that previously only had Fountain and Manor. The criteria for limiting the number of entrants was very good, and the execution of the deadlines was also good. He says the prize pool was magnificent, and I hope there will be many seasons to come moving forward in the Warcraft 3 community. So King Evil said that he really liked that we limited the amount of players for the season. So that would come in the waiting list, Doom. So if we say max 32 players or max 64 players, anybody else who comes in gets waitlisted. And I don't know. What do you think about that?
No, I think that's good. Waitlist is definitely needed. Waitlist, and also, like I said, if people are very peculiar or have a habit of being very difficult with scheduling, and I mean, again, like you said too, signups are important, you know, and kind of what kind of would they gravitate? I mean, for some players, it's not even about the money. I think some players are generally just there for the competition. You know, it's nice that you get to look forward to something, and I think something that you have of a hobby can turn into something more competitive, which is definitely the landscape for some players, and others just want to be casual.
Yeah. Panda says he thought it was a great season, super fun. Only suggestion he would make is to force the opponents to have a scheduled week every week, like Fountain Manor, because we didn't do that. I said you have 3 weeks, play your games all in one shot, play all your games at the end of the week, at the end of the 3 weeks, whatever you want, as long as you communicate it with your opponents and said, let's do this. I was very adamant on you must schedule your games. You should schedule your games, but they don't have to be all in the same week. They don't have to be one each week or 2 each week. It could have been whatever you want, whatever worked in your benefit. And some people just can't schedule for beans anyways, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe we'll be a little bit more stringent and strict for stuff like that.
I think a penalty should be involved then. Maybe not a death win, but minus like a point or something for each time. You know, like I don't know, like a 3-strike rule or 2 strike. I don't know, something a little more stringent to keep them keep players in line.
Yeah, I and also floated the idea of players that really wanted to come back into the league and or cups that are, you know, let's say resigned or were kicked out for bad behavior or whatever the case may be, that we would give a penalty, like a buy-in penalty if they wanted to come back. You know, it wouldn't happen because I don't think players would want to come back. But if let's say Cage decided that he was going to be a pain in the ass and not play his games and not schedule, was being difficult, and then decided to quit halfway through, but then wanted to play in season 2, and he did that, we would say, no, you're on the buy back in list, and if you want to play, you have to pay, $20 for administrative service fees for your troubles because you're wasting everybody's time. So I'm just using this as an example, Cage. I don't mean that was what you did, but I don't know. I floated that idea around too because I know people have messaged me, and I'm just like, why do I got to spend time out of my schedule? Why do I have to spend my time and energy? I'm already sick, and I'm doing this for fun to be distracted, but I got to send messages to people to like answer your DMs or do things, and then you're sending me stupid messages, and then you disappear. You make a whole big fuss after like doing well or resigning. It's like just like let's just do it black and white. You want to do that? Get out of here. You want to buy back in? We'll give you a penalty. We'll buy you back in. It'll be like poker. You'll buy back in. There's no entry fee, but for the penalty, buy back in. So, I don't know. I was an idea. I don't.
Asshole fee is what you should call it.
Yeah, buy back, or asshole fee?
Asshole fee.
You know?
Here you go.
I have to write arsehole because there you go. Better. I just feel better.
Arsehole Phil.
I love it.
I just feel bad doing that.
Matt,
But
show me your arsehole fee.
let's see.
Make-
No, yeah, okay, go ahead, Doom.
I think you should make it $69.99.
You know, this would be a good buy-in.
That would. No, I think there's something that certain credence there because the other thing is people need to be held accountable. So for a lot of these things, there's no accountability. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
No big deal. I think there needs to be repercussions for your actions. And if you want to say because you're taking away from someone else that might want to play and be there, and then all of a sudden then you just turn into because of the evidence, sometimes you're just a d bag for whatever reason. You don't need to be. Hey, I've been there. He's a d bag.
Doom's a D-bag.
Big d bag.
The other thing that was brought up was forced matches and scheduled matches. Like Godot had some issues with Parallax, and then in the end, I extended the season so much for 2 divisions when Fountain Manor started, and I didn't want to, and I was waiting and waiting. I was like, guys, just figure it out. Like, please figure it out. You're 2 adults, figure it out. And Godot was really trying his best, and he was keeping me in the loop. And Parallax would just disappear and not answer and that stuff. And in the end, I was like, okay. I sent a message in Discord, and I'm adamant about this. I don't care what's going on. If you do not check your Discord messages, I at everybody, or I at NASF, or I at Warcraft 3, or I tag you, or I DM you, and you don't answer your messages for 3 days, I don't care. I post everything in the Discord. If you don't answer, that's on you to not checking them. I don't care if you're in 100 Discords. You're in mine, and you're participating in events, you fucking check them. You don't want to, don't play. So I put a message in. I was fed up. We were 2 weeks overdue, and I said to both players, you have until 12 p.m. the next day of seeing this message to answer me, to let me know when you're scheduling the game. The person who does not answer is losing, and I'm going to give the win to the other person. And it's exactly what happened. And I gave Godot the division for the playoffs because Parallax did not answer and wasn't answering for days. And you could go see the mess. Actually, I think I deleted the divisions now, but it was too much, and we couldn't wait. I can't wait. You can't wait. Like, I have other stuff going on, and there's other leagues going on, and it's not fair to people. So that's what happened there. And so maybe that makes a good point. We didn't intervene. I didn't intervene. We did casually, and I said, just try your best. It's not the end of the world. Just try your best. It's season 1. We had a lot going on, and so in the end, I made a decision, and that was that. So that's not going to happen again. And if anybody does that stuff, I'm not communicating, like we're saying to him, it's just not going to fly. Like it just can't fly like that.
No, 3 strike rule or 2 strikes and you're out. I mean, if you're trying to pull those shenanigans, and then you stick it up to the other player, no, it's that you're only hurting the entire group, especially when people are trying to make. If people are from different ends of the earth and they're trying to make their way with it, and then you just, shove it up their ass, that's not cool. That's definitely not cool.
Yeah.
Like the one night I stayed awake till like 1 o'clock in the morning to play my game. I fell asleep halfway through the match. It is what it is. Just tired, work all day, come home, try to stay up for another, few more hours. But we did it. That's fine. Is it ideal? Absolutely not. But I'm not gonna complain about it. It's just, couldn't really see get a little older. Couldn't really see the game. Fall asleep. Happens. But yep.
Yeah. So the other thing that Penguin had mentioned is that he was thinking maybe we should do divisions based on America, and then divisions based on the rest of the world. So maybe not necessarily a German division or Brazilian division, but maybe NA divisions, and then because it depends on signups, then the rest of the world. But then if you're getting people based on country and MMR, and you don't have enough MMRs of certain people in certain countries, it's going to be a little bit tricky. So the problem is signups, and we need more people in the Discord so we have people available. That's why I'm trying to grow the Discord so we can not go chasing and looking for people, but we have them already. So they've got to want to be here. There's that idea. And not that. Doom says EMA, everybody, from last time. I floated the idea about regional divisions, like I was saying, European division, stuff like that. So that's all the feedback that was left in the NASF channel. And obviously, if you guys are in Twitch chat and you have any other ideas, by all means, let me know. And the other thing I was thinking about doing is force scheduling show matches, because the show matches, from what I understand, never existed, haven't existed in a long time. And Grubby used to do them with another fellow on on certain night streams on Friday or whatever. And so then I brought that back, and then Fountain of Manor really loved the idea. So then they made theirs called highlight matches for the Fountain of Manor last season. And then they force scheduled matches called highlight matches, in a way, right? In a way. But I'm thinking of taking those highlight show matches, and calling them show matches and forcefully scheduling them on a Friday night when I stream for the big events Friday nights, and saying, Doomtrain versus Hyperreal, this is your show match, and the show matches will be assigned extra capital, extra prize pools. So maybe your division's worth $50, but that show match is going to be chosen for an additional $10 or $20, or whatever the case may be. And it's going to be played at Friday night, show match Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, and be ready for your best of 3. And if you don't show up, you don't win and you don't get the money, and then maybe get kicked out of the division, whatever the case may be. So I was thinking about, on top of forcing players to schedule, we would schedule some matches for them on a Friday night. This is why it's an NA league, because if in the end you end up being a German player versus the NA, and I schedule your match on a Friday night, you can't show up because you're sleeping at 2 in the morning or whatever the case may be. It's too bad, right? And we don't want that, but it's too bad. It's not fair. This is why we're trying to do NA stuff. So there's that. I think it would be a cool idea to do show matches from divisions. I'd like to have more people casting too, if possible. Like, I know you've casted some. I was casting some. I obviously couldn't cast all of them because they were happening at all times of the day. I think Phil casted a couple. I think some players casted their perspectives. I think Williams casted a couple. I don't know who else. And I think I assigned some caster roles to some people. I'd like more people available to cast as well. So it's a matter of filling up and getting people in that would want to do it.
I
Yeah.
definitely would be more into casting. I think I enjoy casting. I enjoy watching the game. Yeah,
Yeah. I like
I
the casting aspect of it. It makes it fun.
yeah, I'm kind of burned out on playing the game at this point until maybe there's a patch. But I enjoy casting just to kind of watch what people do and how they attack the game. And I find that fascinating.
Yeah. I know. I learn a lot. I've learned a lot talking to people and casting and watching matches, and to a point now where I kind of know what I'm talking about, which is, it feels good. Obviously I don't know everything, and I just try to call things the way I see them, and maybe my opinion, your experience, but then I don't want to make up stuff like Kodos can fly. Imagine, no, don't do anything like that.
Imagine there was an upgrade.
Upgrade. Kodos can fly.
Kodo's fart. It's like a 45-second cooldown for 2 seconds in the air, and they just fart and they just go in the sky. Do a Kodo surround from the sky like a guard drop, like stone form. Amazing.
Yeah, that would be funny. I mean, I do have legitimate ideas for units and things that should be changed, but it would never happen. Like don't make breakers magic immune. Make them like magic resistance, but like 90% magic resistant. But give them the benefit of defend. So you know
That'd be
it would be
that'd be really
interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool if they had defend. Like if defend worked for both breakers, because they have a big shield. So
Well,
it makes sense. Like defend should work unless it's made of paper.
I was thinking about it a lot, and I was like, there's a problem here because you're forced in certain situations. Like Orc is really forced to go headhunters a lot, and then the headhunters are really squishy. Like when you face undead, they get nuked to death, right? And when you play human, you get pally rifle, or you get caster tier 2, and then you can't use your casters as Orc. You're freaking screwed. You have to go out max damage. But it's really tough. But to maybe deal with that, if breakers were not magic immune and were magic resistant like 90%, but did benefit from defense, so you can use footy, get the upgrade, and then the upgrade would benefit the breakers, and they would move slower, but they can push back the piercing damage a bit, but they would also take a little bit more damage from magic from casters. It would kind of balance out in a way that I think if obviously do all this balance stuff in Excel sheet, I think it could work, but I mean I haven't been around long enough to really
The,
make
the
those.
one thing I would really enjoy, Mike, is if a hero gets to level 10, they get like a new ability. So I was thinking of this uh like water elementals with small blizzards.
Hmm.
or like feral spirits with like a chance to like chain lightning, like a proc.
Yeah, well, get level 10 should be really game ending, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean, realistically, like you don't ever get there in a solo game, and I think it'd be really cool to add something different other than, oh, all three of my abilities are maxed out. Like, no one cares about Farsight. They're like, there's no use for Farsight.
well, they like Grubby made some suggestions on a while ago about the Podums. Was it Searing Arrow or was it the Scout Owl? I think it was the Searing Arrow, if I'm not mistaken, and he wanted some kind of like pounce ability, like from a Dota hero, which I thought generally was stupid because the Searing Arrow they adjusted and it seemed all right. Anyways, for Farseer for the Farsight, I was thinking about this, and I thought the Farsight ability should either be a couple of things. It should either be a speed scroll ability that's on a cooldown. So you have access to speed scrolls, but because you can't necessarily have like 20 of them on you, and you need them against human especially, you would have it as an ability on the Farseer, and you would get a burst of speed for a radius of whatever. So the radius would be really small at the beginning, and as you level, it would get bigger. And at some point, it would affect your entire army, where you can use it to either run or pounce on your opponent. And it would be a big cooldown, though. Like you couldn't just abuse it. Or it was some kind of like ward slash stasis ability slash vision giver, like fairy fire or something. Um, that would when you use it, it would stick on opponent's units and it would give you sight as they moved around for like 2 minutes. So kind of like a walking stasis word. And so like you're not going to give them another chain lightning ability or another summons. If you gave Farseer another summons, it's pretty much Beastmaster. So I don't know. That's what I thought.
That sounds really cool, like a fairy fire type deal, you
Yeah,
know. And
like maybe it doesn't give them take away anything from their armor, but it gives them it's like a homing device. You could throw GPS on them and it's like stuck on them for 2 minutes. Like like the level 1 would be small, so you can affect one unit, and level 2 can affect a wider radius, and level 3 can affect a wider radius, and maybe the time goes from 30 seconds to a minute to 2 minutes or something like that. Like it would give the Farseer like a little bit more because you never use Farsight, never use it. Like what the hell, yeah.
no, or like the owl. Yeah, the owl is like for Potom is kind of weird. But if you give it like an attack, then it's kind of just like Beastmaster Hawk.
Yeah, I don't think you could
Uh,
change the owl.
no, you would have to either change the owl or just remove it and then give her something else.
Or
Like-
maybe the owl would be like a sentinel, and the owl can actually go stick on a tree,
Yeah.
and it would have an expiration date. Maybe.
Sounds like that. It sounds like that'd be a real hoot.
And maybe it would sit on the tree and go hoot hoot. Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, in terms of if anybody, you guys, if you have ideas or you want to throw something out at us for the league, for the cups, for ideas, like if you want to be in the Discord and let us know, like please do, please tell us, because I only try to do things that people like to do or like enjoy, and if people don't enjoy them, we're not going to do them. So, you know, it's community driven, right? So, you know, Williams came in here and banned Muscle Mike, who was chatting it up like everything was good, which I love when Williams comes in. He knows who to ban. Oh, there's also that person that goes around imitating, changing his name and letters, by the way, making fun of Franzi.
Oh yeah, Squid. Yeah,
Is that who it is?
yeah, Squid.
Who's Squid?
Squid's like a 4v4 player.
It-
That
That's him?
yeah. Yeah, Squid. Yeah, it's I don't know if it's like Lucky Squid. I just know him as Squid. Yeah, but it's Squid.
Does do nobody knows what he's doing? I mean, everybody, you know who he was. Does W3C not know?
No, he's like banned or sharing account. I don't know. I don't know.
Like, he comes in, he makes a freaking new Twitch account every week or
Every
every
day.
day.
Yeah, every day. I know.
It's so pathetic. It really is. And of all people, you're gonna go make fun of Franzi. But I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. So there's another guy that Williams enjoys banning, but like what the fuck's wrong with these people? I don't understand. I clearly like I'm in my hole in Canada here. Like, what did I miss something? Like, everybody woke up and now they're like they want to be immature and they want to be assholes, and it's like that's a good thing to do. I don't know what the hell's
Yeah.
going on with people.
Here I am, asshole. What's up?
Listen, Tiger Woods. Okay, just because you got your golf shirt on.
My girlfriend took my clubs through the back window. Whoops. Man, back in the heyday when that happened with
Yeah.
Mr. Tiger.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
man.
guy had it all, man, and then he was like banging
Yeah, you know what happens.
strippers and stuff or whatever, porn stars. But you know,
That's what happens.
that's what happens when they make money. They don't have to do it themselves, and then they're just like, I'll
Uh,
buy one Lamborghini and 10 Lamborghinis, and now I'm just gonna go like smoke my whole life away. But anyways, he was never the same after that. His career went downhill. Then he said it was black problems, but then he fired his golf swinger like multiple times.
He was so good when I was a kid. It was amazing
He made golf
watching him.
exciting. He made golf so
Dude.
exciting. We would go buy the golf games to play.
Yeah, Tiger Woods 99. Like, let's go. And then Golden Tea at the bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
Was amazing. And then I had like a PJ Tour 98 or something for the Sega.
Yeah.
I had so much fun playing that.
And then
So much fun.
and then he won the Masters again. When did he win the last time he won the Masters 8KM? Okay. We got to get 8KM into another NA Cup. We need some Orange Bird.
I think I'm like top 12 or top 14. I'm sneaking in there right now for the NA final.
Yeah, there's do I have the download stuff of the pictures? So yeah, we got Hitman with 40 points, Penguin 34, Inspired 33, Jens with 24, CC with 21, Shades with 18. Mr. Winner's played in a bunch of them now. You got 17, Grinchy with 16, Nurture Card 16, Carson's got 14, Doomer with a 13, and it would be top 16 that make it, by the way. Pato's got 12, Smog's got 11, Tristan's got 10, Cage has 10, and Katinka has 9. There's a bunch of guys tied with 9. But it's set up in a way that like one win and you're and it really propels you. Or like, and you no matter where you finish, you can get points. So even if you finish 16th, you can get points. So they may not look like a lot, but let's say, for example, Mr. Winner plays, but he doesn't finish high. He might get 2 points, and those 2 points might actually make such a big difference come time to NA Cup 17. So a little bit more different this time around. And the bottom 17, there's a bunch of guys with 9 points. Cage is down here, and Williams down here. Plus, there's 25 more players that have points that are not listed here on my Excel sheet. So there's a lot. There's a lot. I don't think anybody here will make it. Maybe Xling and Sarah if they play more. Maybe Janek if he plays. He's really good. Frozen Yeti can if he plays more. But I don't think anybody else will from there. But there's other people too. You never know. Did I have Cage twice? I do have Cage twice. Oh, this is the outdated one. Okay, I only updated this one. I understand. So okay, don't just ignore everything I just said on the other one. But like, God, we have Pato who's in 12th right now. Pato plays a little bit more. Hitman hasn't played in a little bit. He's still sitting at top. Shout out to Penguin, guys. Penguin has played in so many of the cups. He is like he's like an NA legend. He is Mr. Community. He's always showing up and putting on a show and putting good matches up. Doesn't complain.
Eat my ass, Penguin.
Eat my ass, Penguin. Inspired too. Like Inspired shows up. Like a couple of times we couldn't make it, and those things happen. Inspired's been playing since I've been streaming. Inspired's tried to participate and been around. He's been improving. CC 2000, which is Phil, which is Footman in the Discord. Like he shows up, he plays as many events as possible. Mr. Winner's been coming to a bunch of them. Grinchy's always playing. North Chikar's always around. Carson's played in a few of them. Shout out to Carson. Like he's a huge NA guy. He is one of the best NA players, right? Like let's be honest. Pato when he shows up, great. Smog's great. Like all these guys are great. So, we'd like to see more faces or different faces too. I mean, AKM could be easily up here, but AKM is playing chess and League of Legends sometimes, right?
No,
right?
League of Legends.
Korea.
Not like this.
Yeah. So, but in terms of that, I mean, if anybody has any other ideas or suggestions, maybe how you think you have a face. I have a face. Why don't you come join? I'm talking about AKM, yes. Sunshine, why don't you come join the voice channel? Rainer wants to hear your voice so bad. Everybody wants to see you, or at least hear from you. Should do it. Okay, so I want to talk about the clan stuff, guys. Yo, he's
gentlemen.
here. Exactly. See, now Rainer's so excited. He's gonna get a boner.
Oh, time to get a boner.
Got a boner.
He's got a boner.
How you doing, Doom?
What's up, man? How you been?
Good, man. Good. How you doing, Mikey?
I'm doing good. I feel a bit better now. I had a really bad day yesterday and a bad day today, but feeling better now that I'm sitting around not moving too much.
Good. Good. Unwinding. Just a bad day in general, or a bad day at Warcraft? Because those are very different things.
No, I had a really good win actually. Rainer saw me when I was playing this high 1500 to 1600 orc player who went Farseer TC Headhunters, and he harassed me to no end. I went Criplord. I couldn't get an expo. He was following me around the map, and then I ended up getting the red camp on the Northern Isles, and I got my Firelord, and I just smoked him after. Absolutely smoked him.
Nice.
Yeah,
That
so
feels good.
that was a good win.
Doom and I can both support you in anti-Farseer TC.
Yes. 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 Can I tell you, Sunshine? I was playing a game earlier. This Farseer was just up my colon the entire game. I just want to get level. I just want to get level 2. I just want to get level 2. Can't do that.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah,
No way.
I went random too. Yeah, Rainer. I went random too, and I got undead in that situation. But
Nice.
yeah. How's your you're perfect. You're here. I was going to talk about the clan stuff, and
Oh yeah.
we're going to try to actively recruit some more. I mean, preferably NA players, but we're open to some good community guys. And so you're one of our top 2 clan NASF players, and you recently beat Baron on ladder, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Talk a little bit about that, because I didn't get to watch the game yet. You were supposed to send me that replay, by the way.
Oh, I'll send it to you right now. Yeah, no, it was a good game. I don't think Baron knew it was me. I was on my Vengeance account.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have ladder anxiety pretty bad, so I try and play on one account to like spam games, and then when I feel like I'm having a good day, I switch over to my other account. But yeah, I mean, I started a while ago, and it's kind of cool this season because I've got to play like higher level guys.
Mhm.
I'm finally on like the 1800 cusp. I think I have I think 1880 is the highest I've ever got. So I've never accomplished 1900 or 2K, and that's really my goal is 2K. And yeah, I got Baron, was a little nervous. I forgot his account name was React until like I was like, oh man, React, that sounds familiar. And then I'm like, oh dude, I think this is Baron's alt, right? And I mean, Baron's always been quite a bit better player than I. He's been around for a while, And he Crypt Lord Expo'd, and we duked it out, man. It was a pretty intense game. There were some intense moments in it for sure.
But Baron beat Grubby, and then you beat Baron. So can you beat
I
Grubby?
think that means that so I've beaten Grubby's Night Elf.
Okay.
I don't know if that means anything, if I'm being honest with you. But I have beaten Grubby's Night Elf twice, actually. I have never played his Orc. I'm assuming I'd get smoked, but I actually almost beat Soin a couple of weeks ago on Twisted Meadows. I surrounded and killed his Farseer, and just killing Soin's Farseer was like surreal. I kind of noobed it up and like froze because I'm like, what do I do now? Like I kind of shocked myself, So no, but like the nerves are a thing. I mean, even I played one of your cups. It's so weird how it's no different. You're just playing the game, right? And you're literally just playing the game. But for me, it feels more intense when you're playing like these matches and these tournaments. So like to encourage anyone out there, like you just have to play more games, man, and eventually it starts going away more. You get more comfortable. Like your skill level goes up. I'm still waiting on mine, but yeah, no, but it felt good. It felt good this last week. I had a couple of really nice wins that gives me hope that I could become a 2K player very soon. I hope.
You will.
So
I'm sure you will. It's time to play the game, butt crumbs. Time to play the game. Yeah. So talking, well, it's nice that you're here and you're talking about MMR gains.
yeah,
I think this is the season I've made the most MMR gains because I'm like 1500 across random.
dude, you've been killing it. Like I don't know what
Undead,
you've been putting in your coffee or
chocolate.
what's going on over there,
I've been putting a piece of dark chocolate in my coffee.
but you've been on a terror, man, an absolute terror.
So I decided that at some point we were going to put together a little clan to challenge other discords or clans. Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. 8KM. And
or Mr. Mike, I have to interrupt.
yes,
That's MMR inflation. Those are not real gains.
what, my games?
Yes, those gains are not real.
Listen, I beat this guy Violence Town who was close to 1600. This was a new
That's
account.
MMR inflation. You're not seeing it yet. You will find out soon.
I don't know. I keep
Yeah.
going up, man.
I agree and I disagree with AKM. There is MMR inflation, and it's always this time of the year. It's always at
MMR
the new
inflation
season.
is real, and you'll see MMR deflation real soon, like I did.
It's true. However, I don't believe that the MMR deflation will be as bad as previous seasons, only because of the
Why?
only because of the fact that you're forgetting that there's literally almost 7,000 more players and about 8,000 more games a day than previous. So I think deflation won't hit for months after rolling if a bunch of these newer players quit, because there's a bunch of players in the arguably 600 all the way to 1550 range. So I don't think the inflation is as bad at the lower levels because there's actually way more players there now.
Yeah, but you saw those players. Like today, I saw one player discussing how do you how do you play your first game of ranked because of all the anxiety.
Hmm.
I mean, these players aren't going to be around very long.
Yeah, some of them won't. I mean, Warcraft is a hard game, right? Like 60% of them will all stop playing in the next 2 months, I'd say. But I mean, everything that's going on right now is great for the community because even if we retain 10% of those players, that's a spike like we haven't seen in I don't know how long. I mean, I've watched the game forever, right? Everyone's been saying the game's been dead for 15 years. I finally started playing around a year and a half ago. It was like November 2023 is when I started playing, and since I've been playing, it's never been as active as it is now. And even with the even with
What is your
KK
name
take
online? I don't know who you're.
Sunshine and Vengeance.
Sunshine. Mr. Mike, I have a question.
Yeah, man.
All right. You say you're taking questions and interesting thoughts about your tournaments you have.
Yeah, tell me.
Has anyone pointed out that your tournaments are the longest on Earth?
No,
Not yet.
nobody's complained about them.
The
Not complained
longest
or pointed
on Earth.
out. They're two different things.
Why are they the longest?
They are very, very long. Now,
Why?
I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just pointing out that's something that I thought should be pointed
Mike
out.
Mike completes a tournament in one day that everyone else spreads out over a week. AKM.
Okay. I just wondered if that was
I mean, it's
a
long
thought.
start to finish because it's a long day, but he literally accomplishes what everyone else does in the same bracket in a
It is a
week.
long day.
But like Fountain of Manor, I mean, Mike could consider rolling it into a couple of consecutive days, but I've never been in something so intense. Ina messaged me one day and 20 seconds later asked if he could have the deaf win because the matches were going so fast that it's like people are just nonstop playing. It's definitely a grind and it happens very fast, but I've never been in a faster paced environment than Mr. Mike's tournaments, truth be told. But you look at Fountain of Manor and all these other places, dude, they're taking months to complete brackets, dude.
Well, they got a lot of players at Fountain of Manor, but
A lot of levers
I don't,
too.
yeah, I don't know about Renaissance Cup. I mean, the league stuff was supposed to be done in 3 weeks, and that took a little bit longer because of holds up with people. And the cup events, like we were talking about it earlier, the first Mayo Cup we ever did, it was over 2 weeks. It was on a Friday and a Friday. We did a bunch of the rounds and then the rest of the rounds. And then after that, when we started doing NA Cups, I said, let's do best of ones for the entire tournament. But best of ones for one bracket is not enough for people to come and enjoy because they're going to do one and done and be on in 2 minutes. And then somebody, I don't know who it was, maybe Slay Day, we said maybe let's do double elimination, best of ones, and just keep the best of three finals. So on some nights we can do an entire cup in 4 hours. And sometimes it's taking 5.5 hours. And I think the biggest problem we have is at some point the top bracket goes so fast that the last couple of players, which like some guys actually enjoy taking a break because they're playing. Once you get to that point, you're playing top end players of that bracket of that tournament. They need a break. They go poop. They want to take a coffee. They want to take a power nap, whatever the case may be. But we've had other players last tournament who decided they were going to take their time. They were disappearing. They had Uber, and then I was giving out deaf wins because it was taking too much time. And then they're messaging you at the same time saying, why did you get deaf win? Well, the rule is 5 to 10 minutes waiting of the said match that started and placed, and we can't wait around for you. So we got to go. Like, I'm not taking breaks either. We're going. I prefer if they would be done in 4 hours. It depends if we're starting 9:30 on the nose. I'd like to start earlier. I can't. 8 o'clock would be nice, but I can't do that. And the guys that do come regularly are the guys who really enjoy it and put on a good show. And it's a lot. Even like I was just saying, Mr. Winner has been actually coming a lot. Penguins showed up to most of the cups. We've had Pato, we've had Carson, We've had you at the beginning. You used to come.
When you say Mr. Winter to yourself, do you think like of a hot dog like Mr. Wiener?
No, you know what's funny? I always thought his name was Mr. Winter, and I've been calling him Mr. Winter this whole time. I don't think anybody's caught on that I've been saying Mr. Winter for the most part, but
I did. I caught on.
yeah,
That's why I asked that question. I
yeah.
thought maybe he's saying something. Well, all right. So, what about the mayo? Who's the fan of mayo in your household?
It used to be me, and now I'm not allowed eating it.
You're not allowed to eat mayo anymore. It's
No.
good for you. It's like made of like what? Oil?
Glue. They put
You're eating the wrong mayo.
they put EDTA and mayonnaise in Canada
damn.
now.
You can make your own mayo though.
Yeah, I could, but right now I'm not allowed eating anything, so it sucks.
That doesn't sound healthy.
No, but what do they eat in Korea? I gotta know.
They eat lots of mayo too.
Oh.
Kimchi.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, there's lots of that.
Okay, let's flip the script here. Why did you go with Angry Korea Man?
It's a long story.
Oh,
But,
do tell.
I was known as the mannerest of men back in StarCraft because that's what you are, manner.
Okay.
Korea is also manner. However,
Mhm.
it's let known that Korea is angry because playing Warcraft is not like Brood War. Brood War, you had some chance, but it doesn't have the same frustration factor as Warcraft 3. And at the time, Koreans were, let's just say it was the Wild West in Korea. So I just made that name and pretended to be Korea, and nobody thought anything. Everyone thought, shit hack and all that stuff was just a Korean, and it was great. You could release your frustration, your anger,
Yeah.
out, and people would think it was funny because they were just a Korean,
Right.
saying weird stuff. So
And this goes way back. So do you feel like Twitch kind of ruined your persona or helped it? Being that people log on and they're like, wait a minute.
I mean, it's been 10 years since that, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of a dead persona. per se.
I got an important question for you. Are you still banned from Grubby's channel?
Yes.
You want me to
Why?
mess?
What did
Everyone
you say?
unbanned me. I
Did you
told
critique him?
someone to die in a fire because they
So
deserve
be
it.
him.
Who?
I used the acronym. I didn't think they'd know what it was, but they somehow knew. I don't know. I just said DIAF to somebody, and I got banned. I was stunned. I was stunned because I'm no longer because Grubby apparently is BM. All right, and I can't go to his chat anymore. So how can I give him useful information and tips if I can't even talk to him?
Right.
It's racist, is what it is. And it was on display and told
Did anyone
everyone in his chat.
did Korea Man, did you read this these new patch potentials coming up out of I guess it was what was it, Mike? Remo's notebook? What was that?
Remo's notebook was like
The
reading
Excel
some kind of
document,
it's
right?
like reading some kind of ancient cookbook from the Roman period. It's like take 2 spoons of garum and put in this honey well, let it sit until it's pompulent. And it's just his way of articulating what should be done and why is obtuse, and it's for a reason.
I felt like 90% of the items had nothing to do with balance and everything to do with just shaking
Bias.
the game up.
Yeah, he's shake the box. So he wants
Yeah.
to be, he wants to. I'm not going to use a political term. He wants to shake the box, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
Not okay.
When were these
I
notes
think
he
they
made?
should bring it back. They should bring the speed of the heroes back to where they were to give the game more, authenticity. I guess, and that's what we're lacking right now is authenticity in this game.
What were the notes you said he made? I didn't see his notes.
Let me grab it for you real
Yeah.
quick, Mike.
Yeah.
And
Because we can critique his notes, but while you're doing that, we are looking for players to join Clan NA SF if you'd like to join. you can make an application directly to me and inquire. We have some people. We have Rainer. We have Legic. We have Hyperreal. We have Mr. Total Baller. We have Sunshine. We have myself, and we had some
What
pending
is
guys.
NASF?
It's the league. It's the clan. It's the North American clan. And there'll be some exclusive events for the clan in the future, and then maybe we'll challenge some other teams to some
I
matches.
know, but what does NASF stand for?
North
Mike, go ahead and check your DM.
North
in Discord.
American Show Match Friday. Isn't that long? I know. Trust me, I know.
I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, me too. I don't even know what
It reminds me of not safe for work, but it's not.
Well, you're here, guys, and ACAM, you're gonna stay with us because now we got the Remo's balance patch suggestions, and let's see. When did he do this?
He did this like
This
2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Oh, 2 weeks ago. I only
hot off the press. So
I only listen to Carson when he makes suggestions, but and let's go.
Don't.
Okay,
He's an orc player. He's a dirty orc.
but I play Orc and Undead.
Well, you're admitting your bias.
Well, I would I'll do Blood Mage one day. You're gonna see I'm gonna do it.
Bloodlaw.
Bloodlaw. Let's do it. Okay, so his goals are to encourage more expansion play across the board with the intention of allowing more dynamic and interesting games with a resource and more tier 3 availability, buffing weaker strategies to make them more viable, and nerfing overpowered aspects. I'm going to make a point here, and not because we're going to be doing different maps. But what are the
Yeah.
big problems in the last how many years we've seen and people have complained is the maps are the same and generally the same. There's no like somebody mentioned it today, in StarCraft, sometimes you have an expansion right behind your main that's available and you can maybe go take it right away. Maybe there's not a lot of gold, minerals in it or something like that. A lot of the maps are the same, and you need some diversity in your maps to make the
That's how StarCraft was designed.
right. But I'm saying in terms of the map playing, they're all generally the same. There's no diversity. So I think also you got to look at maps to make it a little bit more interesting because a lot of the maps coming out are not the best. Let's go.
they're so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Increased tier 2 time duration from 140 to 165 seconds for all races. Decreased tier 3 tech duration from 140 to 120 seconds for all races. I disagree.
Okay, so we're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, pretty much. I totally disagree with that. I think tier 3 should be the longest to get to, and I think I do like the idea of tier 2 taking longer, but I don't like the idea of tier 3 coming faster.
Well, number one, it's tier 3 if you're 9-0.
Tier 3.
What is so bad about getting tier 2? It allows slowing it down by 20 seconds. What's it do? This
Also-
allows the expansion to get broken into by
Also,
various
yeah.
races, like Night
Mhm.
Elf, like
Agreed.
Night Elf, like Orc.
It
etc.
opens too large of windows for certain races. I
What
honestly
is your-
feel
what
like
is
it
your
would
qualm with that,
help
Mr. Mike?
help human the most, more than likely.
Well, I think generally we just don't touch this. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Yeah. Make one orange or red camp respawn at 1600, 40 seconds after daybreak, and repeat this every 4 minutes. At daybreak or nightfall, a ping on the minimap should show play. Okay, this is like reinventing the wheel of a game that should be in a new game. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Respawning of creeps is not what you want to do because then there's no completion to the map, and then players, if they're at the stalemate, they'll just go try to keep recreeping the red camp, etc., etc. So no, I don't like that idea at all. Human, decrease arcane tower build from 50 to 40 seconds. Why is it green? Why did they green this?
So green are buffs and red are nerfs.
Okay, so that makes sense. I think arcane's already got a buff. They don't need another buff, and 10 seconds is whatever.
Wasn't their buff taken away?
Bring back
Yeah,
more
the-
feedback. It
The
was taken
mana,
away.
yeah, the mana was
I'm pretty sure it got
16 to 14.
It's
Yeah.
it's still pretty good. The arcane towers. You don't need to do this. Okay, but whatever. Increase
Yeah, I
lumber
understand.
costs of blacksmith from 40 to 60. I agree with this.
That's just to counter the
I think
rifle
that's
push?
just I think that's just to counter the rifle push because it would take them a little bit longer at the beginning. I don't think it wouldn't have a significant impact on human long term. So that's just for rifles. Increase siphon mana cooldown. I've been saying this. You need to increase cooldown on siphon mana.
Oh, AKM
Why?
loves this.
Yeah.
He
Why do you
loves
need to do
this.
that?
Decrease flame strike mana from 135 to 125. That's actually a really good suggestion because blood mage out of the gate, it's a little bit expensive for flame strike. So if you're gonna do, and maybe siphon mana would be 9 seconds, but anyways, reduce water elemental level 2 damage from 33 to 41 to 31 to 39. This I agree with.
Here's where I differ.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't agree with this is because there are some matchups I would agree with this.
Yes.
But when you look at this polarly from only one matchup, you're ruining another matchup because
Right.
of it.
Because there's 4 races. So
Yeah.
to do this, you would have to augment something a little bit. You would have to do something else for the water elemental. If you're taking away damage from them, then you would have to maybe give them a little bit buff in
Move
life,
speed.
boost speed, buff in life, whatever the case may be. Not a lot,
Mhm.
just a little bit, right? So whatever. Question mark. Decrease priest dispel mana cost from 75 to 55. I wouldn't touch that. Increase priest heal range from 250 to 350. Nope, I wouldn't touch that. Make animal ward training available on tier 2. How much
That
does
would only buff Hawks at
that?
that point,
Yeah, it would
but I
only.
guess you could have it pre-researched before T3 so you could pump instantly.
I
Doesn't
mean,
do a lot,
it would make Hawks viable as a strat at that point,
especially versus
potentially.
Night Elf. You would
Yeah.
see more of
Potentially.
it.
And then it would be really difficult for orcs to deal with as hawks at that point because bats get shackled. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. It would affect orc, but questionable. I don't think necessary, but maybe. Give
I don't think it
sundering
would affect orc.
blades to knights innately. Okay.
I mean, that's just going back to where it was before,
Yeah.
which I don't understand why they did it in the first place, so I agree with it.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Increase orb of fire damage from +5 to +8. What?
It was originally a research attribute.
Yes, this sundering blades, right?
No, yeah, Sundering Blade.
Orb of fire damage to +8. What are all the damages? +5 on all the orbs?
Orbs right now are +5. They did put it at +10 a while ago. That's a bad idea to put it +8.
This would
Just a bad idea.
yeah, it's not. I wouldn't do this at all. Maybe you would change the effect of it in terms of the healing, or maybe more splash damage of some sort. But I wouldn't add more damage to the orb. I think all the orbs should be the same damage. Make
Do you
it.
think it should go back to splash damage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How it used to be? How it used to be?
Water elementals are splash damage. Do you know that?
Do they actually do splash damage to
Really
other units?
Yeah, they shoot water. I mean, they're splashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't actually do splash damage, do they?
Well, what is
Essentially, they drown you.
Essentially.
Man, we're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Make it so that control magic destroys wards, healing wards, stasis trap, sentry ward instead of stealing them.
I'm okay with that as long as they take back the buffs to the witch doctor that they put on before.
I would just leave this. I don't think this makes any sense.
Once again, I like part of my problem with things like this, with statements like this, is what games are you watching
Yeah.
where this is a massive effect? Out of 10,000 games, 3 of them have a human getting to T3 and an orc getting to T3, and both
And
of them
that's because-
researching everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
No, they would be used if control magic wasn't a thing. If there was no control magic, people would use a healing ward all the time, as well as stasis.
I'm the only.
The reason they don't is because of that.
Yeah, I'm the only idiot that uses witch doctors. So this is irrelevant, completely irrelevant. And human, any more human stuff here? No. Okay, so here I would, if we're going to the lumber mill, the blacksmith, and he's saying add increased lumber to the blacksmith because that will help Pally rifle. I don't know. Maybe it would delay it, but I still think it
Well,
doesn't.
he's nerfing
Second.
two things about human.
Yes,
Okay, he's encouraging expansions, and he is double nerfing the paladin rifle strategy, which I'm just warning. I think that they should nerf the rifles, like put them back where they used to be, rather than nerfing the blood law, because it's just making the least used hero, worse.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and I said maybe the rifle life has to be put back, and maybe if that happens, this doesn't
Their
happen.
cooldown too. They
Yeah,
had super cooldown. They also need to nerf peons. Peons need 10 health or whatever it is taken away from them. They don't need to have that extra health buff.
peons or
Yeah, peons got a
peasants.
health buff. That is no
This was
need.
like what, a year ago now, I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
human peasants. I
Mhm.
call them peons because
Oh,
I
well,
don't particularly like them.
yeah. Well, peasants. I mean the timing too on militia. Like they can go halfway to the map is another story, right? So
Well, they should be nerfed a little bit. That would help. But not two nerfs. Just two nerfs if it's nerfing rifles back on one of those buffs they gave, like the health or the cooldown, so they don't do quite
well,
as much
look.
damage.
Well, let's look
Yeah.
at these. I would say immediately no. But just for now, no. No, 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 no. So most of these are no. I think that's just shooting
The
blanks in the
only
dark.
thing I would even take out of this entire list is like, if you want to change the blacksmith cost, that's one thing. It does get kind of snowbally if you, for humans, it would get more snowball in effects where you're expoing and you got economic damage and you're trying to get your macro online. This would actually affect you in a weird way. I know that doesn't seem right, but I think Doom knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But and then I think maybe Sundering Blades back to Knights. But
I
outside of that, I would say the entire list is a no.
I would say this, yes. I would say this has to be experimented with and maybe 6 to 7 seconds first, then to 8 seconds to see, and I would say no for now until you deal with the siphon mana or life on rifles.
Okay, so go back to where or not Neo, but Remo's coming from. Do you see any expansion in pro gaming? Fast expand. Is that a thing, or now is it not a thing? It's not a thing anymore, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Still a
It's
thing?
it's Metaverse Undead and it's Metaverse Night Elf.
Oh, versus Night Elf.
hmm
So he wants to make it better versus.
I mean, with the Arcane Tower thing, I could see that. But nothing else. Everything else makes it
The
like the
power build
blacksmith
time. The
makes it
power
worse.
build time, right?
Yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
big deal.
This
it's a
arcane.
pretty. 10 seconds is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is. It's a big deal.
I think about how many times my Arcane Tower died 1 second before it's done, let alone 10.
Well,
Yeah,
just
So
half a second, 500 milliseconds, whatever. It's
yeah,
just
just this
1 millisecond.
just this against a Farseer makes such a big difference. Like they wouldn't have a chance. So
I got fucked by a Cripplord earlier because of that. Literally 1.5 seconds.
yeah.
I can tell you it wouldn't have mattered.
mhm.
Nope.
He had your
Nope.
number. I think you liked
Yep.
Let's look at the orc. Reduce gold cost of Great Hall from 385 to 360.
I'm gonna mute my mic for this whole orc one. Okay.
Okay. You just listen to me. Reduce build time of Great Hall. I think I wouldn't reduce the cost. Maybe the hull, maybe the time to get Great Hall. Buff chain lightning damage. 80. What?
Hey, I
Buff
see what they're doing. They're making it to where humans and everyone else gets a free expansion.
buff chain lightning damage from 85, 125, 180, 85, 140, 190. I think this is maybe necessary at tier 2, but this is a little bit much of a buff. Reduce feral spirit mana cost from 85 to 80. As much
Isn't
as
tier 2 where the Farseer has the most impact?
yeah, it's level 1 that they don't. So I would say if you wanted to buff the damage, you would do 90, 130, and 185, and that's it. You wouldn't do anything else. Reduce feral spirit mana. As much as I'd like to see this, a Farseer with an extra bit of wolves, because you have to cast your wolves like slightly 50% ahead of the time before you get to where you got to go. I don't, as an orc player, I would love this, but I don't think that's a good idea. giving Farsight. We were just talking about this, Doom. Giving Farsight the additional effect of dispelling the target area. Blah blah blah. And granting the Farseer 4812 bonus intelligence for 12 seconds. Okay, so this
What?
is So this doesn't make any sense.
What?
This doesn't make
What?
this doesn't make any sense. And so what ACAM, what I was telling Doom earlier is that Farsight should be some kind of like glue or GPS where you throw it on a unit and you could see them for 30 seconds, and then level 2 you could see them for a minute, and then level 3 you could see them
hear
for
me
2
out.
minutes.
Hear me out. Going Farsight means you're going Farsight. All right.
Yeah.
Now, Orc has a very big predicament. They don't have wand of negation like undead players. Just basically free dispelling anytime they need it at tier 2. They don't have anything like that. They
Yeah.
have tier 2 dispel single target pretty much, or if you research something, you can get it from the cow people. But they really are at odds with a lot of night elf, things. So giving a Farseer a way to dispel something that doesn't hurt anything. All right, it's just a dispel, and it gives more intelligence, so he gets like 12 more damage. That's debatable, okay, but it's 12 seconds. It makes the spell, or it makes the Farsight actually usable as a spell, and it might even be imba, but it's still something you could test, and it would be useful. So you wouldn't have chain lightning. You'd have a dispel that does 350 whatever dispelling is, one time use. You can't use it again for a while. So what's bad about that? Tell me what's bad about that.
I think this would give a real significant boost and to Orc versus human, especially against Archmage, and I don't think that's because you're dispelling.
Everyone, though. Keeper, Crypt Lord, everything.
Yeah.
You're essentially completely negating
But you don't have
every other hero.
now you don't have chain lightning.
Yeah, but you don't need chain lightning.
You don't need it. You have wolves, and you're done.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I have wolves. You have no summons. I completely negated undead as a race. Like,
You have one
skellies,
dispel,
beetles, everything.
It's like having one charge of purge. You have one of those. It's
I
a
mean, if
hero
it wasn't
spell.
an AOE, sure.
Yeah, I don't. It's interesting, but I don't think it would be good.
More and then you get more damage on top of it with the intelligence. So
Yeah.
it's more right click. You just trade
for 10
efficiently.
seconds.
Yeah, but that's
all the difference. That could be all the difference you need, right?
But the chain lightning is more damage.
Well, look, he's buffing Farseer like crazy here, right?
Yep.
Like this is
Did he start playing Farseer, or what's going on?
No, this is like this is way
This is the Night Elf undead Cabal, right? Remember that.
This is way too much. Like you have to go Farseer or Blade Master. That's the only thing you can do, and this would make Farseer really.
I mean,
good.
Keeper can be meta right now versus Orc, and it would like eliminate Keeper. It would eliminate Crypt Lord. Archmage already struggles as is in the early game. Is very difficult matchup for human.
The Farsight idea is, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's something that would be used and potentially not even imbalanced. I don't know if I like the chain lightning. If you want to buff that stuff, you need to nerf something else.
Yeah.
Or nerf the mana cost of chain lightning, etc. If you're going to do what you're doing.
Yeah. So,
Agreed.
but like Farsight needs a change. If it's this, I don't think so, but it needs something. Reduce Tauren gold cost from 280 to 260. Again, we're going to the Tauren situation. Tauren are generally useless. You never get there. They cost too much. And yeah, we like to see more Tauren play. I don't even think this is really enough to really do much because you would have to tech to tier 3 to get to Tauren. That means you would have to either go Raider Walker into Tauren, or you would probably get a barracks. Usually you get a barracks, and you're probably getting a grunt or two into headhunters, or you're just going straight headhunters. And then you need a bestiary because you need your Kodo, and it's like you still generally don't get Tauren. Most people don't get Tauren. It's very rare.
Although I will say that we've been seeing him more
Yes,
as of late.
Lately, but in general,
Not a lot, but
I don't know.
Like Grubby today a few times versus even Techo and other high level players.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see, and it won't really like break the bank or change anything, but I would be interesting to see
Yeah.
this. Make
Agreed.
make lightning shield grant 1.5 armor to the unit that it is applied to. Does that mean also to the unit you're applying it to? Because you can apply it on a sork around their casters to do damage to themselves. So you would be giving them armor as well, or just your
No,
Right.
no, it's hurting them and it's helping your one
no.
unit.
When you put lightning shield on an enemy unit, it's affecting their units around them and not doing damage to them.
Yeah.
So
But it would give 1.5 armor to that unit. You put it on.
yeah, so either yours or your enemies is getting 1.5 armor. So that is that what he's saying? Okay.
Yeah.
So
TC would be even more tankier then.
Yuck.
yeah.
But
So
that would it would dissuade putting it on an enemy unit, number one, which can be problematic in some matchups.
I
But it would also help the unit you put it on and give more reason to put it on your Tar and Chieftain.
so it can be dispelled. You can be dispelled by on the negation with destroyers, with priest, or with abolish, and a lot of units are magic immune. It's interesting. I don't think it breaks the bank. It might hurt human. It might hurt undead. I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting change. Okay, I'm fully on this. I don't even read it yet. Increase burning oil full damage from 12 to 15 and medium damage from 3 to 5. And increase the duration over which it deals damage from 2.514 seconds to 4 seconds. I've been saying this, maybe not exactly these numbers, but I've been saying this for a long time, that you need to buff burning oil. And I don't care about the cost. Leave the cost the same. To make it more viable, because in a lot of situations, like we were talking about Pally Rifle, I said don't sleep on demolishers and burning oil. One or two of them can really change the thing. If you're going tier 3 anyways, especially if you're going Farseer, Panda, Firelord build, get a demolisher to a burning oil, it helps. But I like this.
I mean, that's dangerous, isn't it?
It yeah, but it's a lot. Like it's a big change. Like it's median damage change from 3 to 5 plus 12 to 15 plus the seconds. I think maybe you go
That's a lot of damage, isn't it?
that's a lot. But burning oil is good, but it's not great. Maybe you would start small. Maybe you would do 12 to 13 and 3 to 4.
I mean,
and
I have a lot of
2 to
experience
3.
with burning. It's really mean if you're sieged.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's already very strong. You don't see it a lot.
Yeah. So
Um,
but this is a
because
big
it's hard
change.
to keep demos alive, right? Is
Yeah.
the other thing. But if you're being sieged or someone takes a very good engage, like demolishers are a great unit.
Yeah. So this yes, but maybe a bit different to start. Decrease troll regen cost from 100 to 75. And increase hit points. But
No,
no,
negative.
sorry, and increase
Just
hit
negative.
point regeneration from 1 to 1.2. I think the 75 makes sense because it's really hard to get troll regen. Sometimes you skip it all the way to tier 3 and it's a pain in the ass. And Orc really struggles with healing. It costs a fortune to heal them, these guys. I think this is okay. I don't know about the regen to 1 to 1.2. I think that's just the sake of changing to make a change. Decrease orb lightning cost from 375 to 325.
Please get out of town.
I always find myself at 300 or 325 gold looking and waiting for 50 gold. But what's the cost of all the orbs? And for all the races?
Orb of Lightning is considered the second best orb or the third best orb,
But-
It's ridiculous.
But what's the cost of all the orbs?
I mean, Undead is like 450, right?
No, it's
No.
325, I think.
Human is 275.
No, I think it's 250.
Orb of Venom costs 250.
Okay, so
No, Orb of Venom is more than that. Come on.
I thought Orb is
Oh,
325.
no, I'm sorry.
Venom's
Yeah,
325.
325. Yeah, I was
Okay.
looking at
So
Dodo.
Night Elf and Undead are both 325. I'm
Undead, they
pretty
lowered
sure.
the cost. Oh my
Human is
God.
250.
I think all the orbs.
That's a buff that I forgot about. With the
But if you're gonna
Undead
make
orb.
all orbs cost the same, they also need to all be equal. And we all know that Orb of Fire absolutely sucks.
Right. So if you buff Orb of Fire with like splash damage or whatever, then you would increase the cost and you would bring the cost down to these so everybody kind of has an equal footing. Just
Okay,
make all the
here's
orbs 325.
Here's the thing that's missing with Orc. Clones are ridiculous. Okay? Everyone knows they're in balance.
Mirror
Clones
image,
need to be
100%.
nerfed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Needs
They're too strong.
increased mana, 110 mana or cooldown on him.
And if he's gonna
Yeah, cooldown
buff
for sure.
the Blade Master by making Orb cheaper and making the Purge better, I mean,
And it
something
still
needs to be
procs
done.
off illusions, which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
It's crazy. It's
So,
insanity.
yeah, this is probably Grubby paying Remo at this point.
Okay, thank you. Someone said it. That's the first thing I'm probably going to agree with you on.
I think
Like,
Grubby's
Grubby
paying him.
re-enters the
I think
scene,
that-
and all of a
that
sudden
he's
there's
got
green
access
down
to
the board for Orc.
generational wealth from Tyler 1, and he's just throwing money at him.
Listen. To be fair, I'm here saying
Every man has his price.
I'm saying no. I'm saying no to a lot of these things. I just like the burning oil. I think that's a good.
Yeah, the
Your
burning oil is a bad
body.
idea.
Just,
I'm telling you.
but
I've been on the other side of burning oil, and it's really beyond.
but not the numbers. I would change the numbers, right?
So be it.
Decrease the okay, fine. Decrease the lightning orb, whatever. Increase the orb of lightning purge dispel damage from 150 to 300. I think no.
Bro, are you out of your mind?
This is it would make orb so good, and no, I wouldn't do that.
Orb is already OP.
Yeah,
Like, we all know that it is.
no, I wouldn't.
What on earth is... This isn't even a thought process, man. This is like
Remo and
some...
Friends balance patch.
This is literally some 1200 player or grubby, I don't know which, being like, hey man, I just want to see orcs stomp everything and everyone. Sounds fun.
Yeah, no, and this is the Baleine patch talk because it doesn't say balance at the top. But anyways,
Bellini.
the Bellini.
Bellini.
Yeah, so no, this is not good. And Shadow Hunter agility gain 1.5 to 2.
I think Spike Creek helped him with that balance patch.
I don't know if this is necessarily necessary. Give healing words an innate weak brilliance aura of 0.3 mana per second. Whoa. That's
Fuck
I
is
feel
that?
like Key and Peel right here. Are you
Okay.
out your damn mind?
Who came up with it? I don't think he came up with this. This give healing words a little mini brilliance aura. No, definitely don't
What's
do
wrong
that.
with that? Tell me what's wrong with that. When you're home and you can use healing word, you don't want your mana to go up and all of your Tauren and stuff like that to be able to fight another day.
Why don't
tell me
we
what's wrong
just
with that.
make Tauren Aura make units fucking fly?
No, but to give a small brilliance aura so you can regenerate mana.
So it regenerates the mana in all of your Tauren that are now almost dead, have no mana because you just teleported out. Now,
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I
battles
understand
don't have
that.
healing word. It's for when you're home, basically. It's when people use it. When they're home and they're healing up and they're using salves and all these things. It's just an idea that, to me, it doesn't sound like a terrible idea.
Hey, Mr.
Star
Grinchy.
Grinch Uno just raided with 7 viewers.
Thanks for the raid, buddy.
Hey, it's the Grinchy
Um,
Uno.
I won't even go here for this. That doesn't make any sense to me right now. Hey, you got 4th place, dude? You should be 1st place. You're 1st place in
Yeah,
my
dude,
heart.
you're first place in our hearts.
Let's go to Nadal.
What a noob uninstall.
If Grinchy, you want to join us for this, you can definitely join us. This is Remo's patch ideas. So Night Elf, decreased Tree of Life gold cost from 340 to 320. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
No.
Decreased
Stop.
Tree of Life build time from 120 to 120 seconds. Nope.
No. Stop.
Increase Keeper of the Grove base intelligence by 1.
What's the logic here? Once again, my only problem with sometimes with stuff like this line item is, where is this coming from? What matchup or game were we seeing where someone's going, you know what? The Keeper of the Grove needs a buff, because I see Keeper being played as meta, and I see, once again, I'm a human player, right? So I don't see a lot of Keeper. Let's be clear.
No, we don't.
But let's say they're like, hey, I want to see Keeper more in human. Okay, but you are going to screw up the Orc matchup because Orc is actually struggling versus high level Keeper play, and this is my logic.
Well, look at this. Increase the Keeper base intelligence by 1 and increase the Keeper Grove intelligence gain from 2.7 to 3.3 intelligence in general. Instead of going up 2.7, it'd go up 3.
It'd be very scaly. Yeah.
Keeper's used by what? It's used versus Orc, and it used
Orc.
to be used versus Undead until it became unviable.
You still see it versus human every once in a while, but
The,
it's more
the
rare.
keeper is considered bad right
So just if you were to give the keeper a buff, I think it would be one of these, not
now.
both.
Now remember, Orc, its best matchup, just got a buff with the dispel from
I-
Farsight. So you have to equate that with it. If he does,
Well, yeah. If you're
so
considering all of the buffs to Orc, okay, yeah, like I understand where that's coming from. But if we're
and
just looking
remember
at this,
the buff to towers. So towers are going to be up and running. So you think of those, and now keeper isn't as valuable as he was for what he did.
I would say for me, I look at stuff like this and I go, I would pull like the top 5 orcs. You know what I mean? And I would be like, hey, what do you think of because I think it would affect orc the most, and I'm not an orc player, but that would be my concern, is that you already see keeper a lot in that matchup. And I'm sure there's someone somewhere screaming imba over keeper already, but like at the high level,
If you asked an orc, is this a good patch for you? They're going to say yes.
oh, dude.
Now
yeah,
they have a
there's no
dispel
doubt
with
about that.
dogs. Now they have versus keeper. Now they have all these tools to stop the keeper. You're going to give the keeper a buff. I understand
son
that.
of a
I'm just saying
bitch.
that the orc also like this patch. I think.
I think the keeper thing here, maybe the scaling of intelligence. Do this and then see what happens. The rest, no.
And
Decrease.
you saw the increased agility to the Shadow Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big.
So I don't know. It would be interesting to see if that would make a big difference. But let's say you do this. There's a lot of orc suggestions here, which a lot of them I said no. But they're still interesting. Okay, let's say you do the keeper intelligence game from 2.7 to 3. It's a little bit. It's 0.3. Fine. Decrease the mana of Searing Arrow from 8 to 5 for Potom.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. If you're gonna do it, maybe make it 6 or 7 and see where it goes. Increase.
Good Arc uses the Potom on me, and I don't like it.
Man, someone loves the Potom. They've just been buffing her for a year straight, huh?
Yeah, several years.
Anyways, increase the Priestess of the Moon's nighttime vision from 800 to 1900.
What?
Her vision?
You're
Her nighttime vision?
You're over doubling it? 2.5 times?
He's gonna
Like,
change his spell for the Potom watch. It's gonna be like a passive or something instead of the owl.
yeah, I see.
Instead of the owl, you're saying?
I don't know. He has to have some kind of idea.
Anyways, well, let's see if we get there.
Nobody uses the top Potom, so how are you gonna make it viable? It's not now.
You see Potom all the time in Night Elf Mirror. Once again, I mean, you're
Nobody
speaking in a
cares about that.
cylinder. I mean, but you're speaking in a cylinder, right? Of hey, human versus Night Elf matchup. I never see this here. I never see that here. Yeah, but there's 3 other matchups.
Potom is considered the worst Night Elf hero. How about that?
She's great in Night Elf Mirror. So you want to buff her, then you're only going to see Night Elf. You're only going to see Priestess in Night Elf Mirrors. And then what? And then everyone's going to bitch and complain.
Don't like her because she doesn't like you.
It could be. I mean, I did hit on her once, and she didn't reciprocate.
Disengage has a good comment. He says, we got a guy talking about balance who refuses to go Shredder because he doesn't like goblins.
I don't like goblins.
Oh my god, disengage.
That's a good one. But okay,
that was pretty good.
I think this is a little bit crazy, but okay. Increase true shot aura damage from 10, 20, 30 to 13, 26, 40.
Hey, can I ask a question? Who caught the Night Elf mirror today?
Of who?
Who caught? It was Jens versus oh man. It was Jens versus another top Night Elf. He went mass archer. It was on Back to Warcraft today.
I think I saw some of it. Carson
was casting it. It was literally Priestess of the Moon, Archer, and the heroes were dying in 2 volleys.
Oh, it was Foggy. Foggy was playing it?
It was Foggy! Yes,
yeah.
It was Jens versus Foggy.
Yeah.
And it was insane. And someone watched that and went, let's buff the shit out of this.
Oh, man. This is a no
I know
for me.
Grinchy will love it. The times Grinchy beat me, he was triple orbing me.
Oh,
man.
listen,
Like,
listen to this. Okay, we were just Doom and I were talking about Scout Owl before. Remove the invulnerability for the Owl Scout and instead give it an aura that heals allies 1, 2, and 3 hit points per second. To compensate, the duration would have to be reduced from 60, 90, 120 to 40, 40, 40. So you'd be able to kill it. It would heal its allies, and its
kind of cool.
time would. It's a cool. I don't know who came up with this. I don't know if it was Remo. It's interesting. I
It's
don't
interesting.
I don't wonder what night elves would actually think about it. I'm not saying do it because I'm not a night elf player, but it's I don't know. It's
If you did this, I promise you would see Priestess in other matchups because that would be OP when your moon wells are empty, when you have no regen, like all of these other things, right?
yeah.
And even situationally in fights to put it somewhere, like I think that is a possibility to make her viable in almost any matchup.
That would
That
be
would
cool.
make
Yeah,
that would make archers super tanky. I mean, if you already have at nighttime push, if you go, rifles wouldn't have a chance because they already do reduce damage to the archers. And then, like, if you go at nighttime, and then plus magic resistance, phys resistance for piercing, and then HP regen. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
So, I mean, the idea of changing the scout owl is interesting. Maybe it's not this, but it's an idea. Reduce mana burn range from 300 to 250. I've been saying this for a while. I think the mana burn range on the demon hunter needs to be reduced to, at least put him in danger when he's trying to burn the mana, because all they do is run in with the demon hunter and burn your mana and run away, right? How that happens all the time. I think this is a good change.
That's a terrible idea.
Why?
Well, number one, the demon hunter is vulnerable to like undead, vulnerable to human getting storm bolted, and it's got a spell that has lower range than any of the spells that they have to knock you out, basically. So you have to go in there, and it means the game for you to go in and get rid of the mana on something, or they're going to be able to heal something you're about to nuke. And you really don't know if you can do it now because you have to get too close. You have to get too close.
So
It's and also if you're nerfing the bloodlaw, I understand you're nerfing the bloodlaw. I mean, they think that's a real problem, human versus night elf. But you're going to nerf what is the problem? Is I mean, to me it seems like a bad idea.
I think here they're trying to increase the keeper and the priestess and maybe give them different options outside the demon hunter. Maybe the range is not 250, but I think a reduction in the range is fine, whether it's 275 or 280. Who wants to nerf mana burn? This is Remo's patch notes. He's just making suggestions and stuff. Remove the vision, true sight aspect of fairy fire and instead make affected targets receive 30% reduced healing and hit point regeneration.
I don't know. This seems like a shaking the box thing.
I think this is not necessary. Doesn't make any sense. Reduce fairy fire mana cost from 45 to 40. Don't think that's necessary. Give mountain giants the ability to hit air units when holding trees. No, I don't think that's necessary at all.
Well, I mean, think about it. Fairy fire right now doesn't. I mean, reducing healing. What's wrong with that over giving sight to the unit?
It's not.
Sight really doesn't help, right?
Well, fairy fire sight actually helps quite a bit, and it reduces armor.
Right, but he's saying reduce healing. What's
Bring
wrong
back
with that?
mass
Nobody
talons.
uses fairy fire. It's not
Make
very
talons
useful.
great again.
Make talons great again. I like talons, but I just think.
No, is there any of us who wasn't entertained by mass talon games versus orc back in the day?
Oh man, poor orcs. Yeah, no, I like seeing talons, but I think there's just a lot of different far-reaching ideas here, and you wouldn't go with this many because it changes a lot of things at one time. And then mountain giants really not only sieging bases and stuff, but they can also attack air units. They already have a good anti-air, really, if you think about it. I would say no, not necessary. Increased resistant skin research time of mountain giants from 75 to 100 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. Decrease the gold
so
cost.
confused.
Yeah, I don't decrease the gold cost of hippogriffs from 160 to 145. Why would
Decrease.
decrease? So what would the benefit of this? Who does this work in favor in what matchup
It would be good versus undead.
Mm-hmm.
to fight? Yeah,
Garg, I guess. Mass Garg. I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I guess so. Yeah,
Doesn't a guard cost 145 too?
Y-
135. Huh?
135, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just bringing it back to.
Remove invulnerability from Spirits of Vengeance, but give them magic immunity and make them grant 12 experience points.
I'm down with that. I
I'm
don't know.
I mean, I never really don't see it too often, but I mean, sure.
Sadly, I do, Mike. I don't like to admit it out loud.
Yeah. Okay, let's say sure. I mean, they did buff Warden not long ago, right?
Doomtrain, do you see Avatar a lot?
I don't see my bracket. I don't really see Warden a lot. It's mostly just Demon Hunter, and then Mana Burn to Death.
Yeah.
It's great time until tier 2, and then you just banish him. I think what Twisted Meadows, if anything, maybe like 2 maps at most for Warden play right now. I mean, for like elf versus
Yeah.
human.
Yeah, she's a high skill cap hero, right? But when you see her ran correctly, it's oh my god. It's
He looks
disgusting.
unbeatable. She looks unbeatable. You
Yeah.
just watch. What does Colorful do? He just runs level 1. He goes right across the map,
Yep.
like on Twisted Meadows,
Yeah.
Fan of Knives or Shadow Strike,
And then
and
he
he's
has
like,
like 3 Ancient of Wars building in different areas, and he comes
Mhm.
back level 5. It's like, what the fuck just happened?
Oh, jeez. All right, let's go to Undead. Increase Haunted Goldmine hit points from 950 to 1100.
Why? Once again, why? You don't like being tanked? Like,
That's why.
yeah, you
That's
don't like
why.
being tanked. Akko's already like who's with me on this one? Why can 3 Akkos out repair a 40 food army? Can someone riddle me why that's okay? Oh, because they have less Akkos. Okay, why are they fast? Why are they so hard to kill? Oh, so the game matchup is always supposed to be every race gets to run into a human's base, kill 90 workers every 30 seconds, and that's okay. Oh, and your towers die to focus fire instantly. But 3 Akkos can out heal a 40 food human army. That's insane. And then you're going to buff their gold mine, which is one of the only ways to punish them back if they're in your base trading and you're in their base trading. I'm sorry. I'm completely opposed to that.
Is this in response to humans always going for the gold mines or water elementals and footies?
Yeah, I mean that is a strategy. You do see it, but you don't see it as much because you don't get it. You just force the Akkos back to repair,
Yeah.
and then you get to kill the Akkos some more. But tank drops are the only thing I can think of, and Expo versus Expo. When tanks go in and try and kill the undead Expo, it's like, hey man, we're giving you 150 more health, but then you're also repairing off percentages. So because of that, you're making it insanely more tanky.
Yeah.
So it's a deceptive buff because it's like, oh, 150 more health. What? Okay, so it stays alive a couple more seconds. No, it goes from you kill it with 2 tanks to he just repairs it and you don't even touch him and you lose your 2 tanks and his heroes scale out of control.
So, I mean, to me, it doesn't seem like it needed to be changed anyways, but let's say no for now. Reduce orb corruption cold cost to 325. So it's more than 325? It's
I guess I don't know
370.
how to play the game.
I thought it was 450.
No, it's
I'm googling it. This is how much of a noob I am about undead.
it's 375 right now.
Okay, it's 375. Well, I thought, like we were saying earlier, I think the orbs maybe should be all equal as much as possible. But yeah, Baron, why did they make this suggestion? Yeah, that's what we said. We said water elementals and footies were going in and attacking it. This is why, right? Or you can make it have a shorter time to get up, I guess. Yeah, I understand. I wouldn't.
It's regen. He wants to be more, I guess, maybe. Like
Mhm.
how fast it builds, so you can't cancel it as easily, maybe.
Maybe the timing, maybe the weight, not the actual hit points, but maybe the time it takes to put it up could be less. I don't know what the time is right now.
Oh, you just played H2O. I had to watch Tickla play against him earlier.
Baron just played H2O. Oh boy. Would you say Doom? Stickler played who?
I said I watched Tickla play H2O earlier.
And then he just take out the tanks.
Why have
Yeah.
I been? Why have I been hearing so much about this H2O guy all of a sudden?
He's tanking
Baron from
everybody.
Baron TV is a undead player, and you'll see a lot of undead bias. And I'm pretty sure he's part of the undead Night Elf Cabal too. So take what he says and scrutinize it.
Baron
'Cause
just doesn't strike me as a Cabal type guy.
You know?
he's a Cabalian. He's Italian.
Oh, I'm half Italian. You think water turns? Oh, I'm not saying that out loud. Okay. Reduce carrion beetle mana from 50 to 45. So the cost of beetles on Crypt Lords to reduce the mana from 50 to 45. I think no. Increase spike carapace damage return from 15, 30, 45 to 25, 50, 75. Wow.
Is this the counter Blade Master? Baron with like
Baron, what do you think about the Crypt Lord suggestion for spike carapace? Because that's a big
That
change.
seems a little oppressive
counter
to
Demon
me.
Hunter? Yeah, it seems a bit oppressive, but I mean, I
Seems
don't.
a little weird.
Once again, I would defer to undead and other races to, you
It's
know,
it's
I don't care if you pick Spike Carps against me. I don't care. So
you heard the first two words and you took a nap, and 2 hours later he was done. I would say if you're going to touch it, it would be really small numbers and not that. That's a lot.
All right, if you're gonna do spiked carpet, give the health to the beetle, not return damage. I don't see how that's useful.
well, a blade could kill himself super fast, just like
Is that
orc
a good thing?
burrows.
I mean, make it harder to kill
I don't
or
know.
something
I
like that.
I don't know how often people are targeting level 5 and beyond Crypt Lords. Like, am I the only one here who like almost never sees that happen?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Never see what?
Like, because when we're talking about Spike Carapace, we're really talking like later in the game, right? Because you're still
Well,
gonna go
that's what he's
impale.
hoping to change. He's
Mhm.
helping the beetle by lowering the mana, and he wants to give an option. Maybe if there's a blade master, maybe if he knows there's gonna be those stupid
Sure,
dog people that are
sure.
gonna surround him, and now he can get spike
The
carpet to beat.
stupid dog people.
That would be a viable kill
yeah.
pick in that case for
I
the beetle Bailey, and the beetle Bailey right now can never choose spike.
I understand with like trying to make suggestions to make more heroes viable and stuff and weaker skills. But it's got to be in increments because you'll change a lot of stuff. Like from
Yes,
15 to
agreed.
25 on level 1, it probably should be more like 17 or 17.5 and 37.5 or 52.5, not like that kind of a jump, right? Increase vampiric aura from 20, 40, 60 to 20, 35, 50. This is a reduction. This is a reduction in how much they gain from the aura.
You said increase aura to, they did like inverse thinking here. I don't know why it's written this way. Increase it to 20, 40, 60 from 20, 35, 50.
Okay, I
The
read.
problem isn't the aura's strength. The problem is that you need the other abilities and it's not viable until super late game anyway. So I don't understand what you think you're doing here. Not going to change anything. That will change nothing.
Yeah, I don't think this really.
You're never going to go without carrying and sleep. Let's all be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
Every time any one of us ever sees a Dreadlord running around with Vamp, we're like, GG, idiot. Like,
Yeah.
can't wait.
Yeah, that's
Like, I don't care if you're mass ghouling, man. Like, I don't care. Like, you picked that instead of a higher level carry-in or a sleep. I'm loving you, dude. So go ahead, buff it.
So maybe
Make it
buff it.
100%.
It
I don't
does.
care.
It does nothing. increased damage of carrying a swarm from 75, 125, 200 to just 135 in the middle. So adding an extra 10 damage at level 2.
I know that seems silly that I would oppose this, but when you're human versus Dreadlord Expo, for instance, and he hits level 3, your butthole puckers. Someone back me up here. Doom, AKM, anyone?
Yeah, you just get lamed. Yeah,
You
sniped
just
all
get
the time.
lamed, dude. The carrion is so strong at level 3, as silly as it sounds that it's only 10 HP difference. Like, he's scaling the gate. He's killing everything.
Yeah,
What games are these people watching to suggest patches such as these?
if you're gonna make any change on this, it would be maybe 75 to 80 on
Well,
level 1, and
right
that's it.
now is the Dreadlord viable versus human?
Yeah, but not I mean, not first. I think it's
He's
kind of a
not.
meme first.
He's not
But
viable.
but I mean, okay, what hero is viable as unless you're going Pala rifle, like what hero is viable first as human?
That's what I'm asking is what is the Dreadlord viable versus human?
He
And
is.
if
He
he's in,
scales. Top level players have pulled off Dreadlord fast expos. Happy even did it for quite a while. It is viable at the top pro level. However, you won't really see him, but you will see him second and you will see him third because he counters mass gyro when you're going air insanely well as it is.
but
So
he's not
that's
going to
when you see
counter it
him.
any well or any better, really. I mean,
No, well, I mean, yeah, because now
this
if he
would
gets
be
level
for
3,
mid game when that would be what that's for. It's to stop something that prevents people from going Dreadlord in the first place. I would think it's 10 damage.
yeah.
It's no different on the mana. It's not increasing the top end damage. Um, and that is probably because you probably want to be able to kill peons, or I don't know what that change would be. Why 10 more damage? I don't know, but it's not a big deal. Not a big deal.
You'd have to see it in action on PTR type thing to really understand, to see if it
I mean,
makes a big
so
difference.
yeah.
Make web available in tier 1.
Why?
As much as I'd love to have web available in tier 1, I think that just counters Wyvern, Wind Riders, and
Once again, doesn't affect my matchup at all, but that's just silly.
I don't think you need to make that
Bat
change.
laming would get destroyed too.
Yep. Yep.
Decrease
What about the
costs,
destroyer nerf?
or we're getting there. Decrease cost of Wand of Negation from 150 to decrease the cost from 150 to 110.
I'd say 125 is okay, but not 110.
I
I'd
see
be
it in
okay
my
with
games. I
125.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I've never really focused on how much it hurts him to buy it. I've never really focused on that. So I don't have input on this one. I would have to watch more games and see like an undead really struggling and buying.
And Baron from Baron TV did have a point. He's increasing tier 2 timing by 20 seconds, so that would be why you want web at tier 1.
Mm,
I would say you can have web at tier 1 as long as you have every building every building.
Yeah, no. Well,
Okay,
we
so
said no. We said no to all the timings for the text, so that would also mean no for the web. And the wand, maybe 150 to 110 is a much. 150 I find is a lot because sometimes you need two of them. So maybe there's a halfway in between point for that. Reduce
but
destroyer
there's
base. Yeah.
well,
I was just gonna say there's also only a window in which Wanda negation is actually relevant. Because all the matchups where you're getting Wanda negation, you're getting destroyers. Like Happy always has 2 destroyers, pretty much no matter what. Almost doesn't matter the matchup to some degree,
it's
because
early
it's
game.
anti-hex, it's anti-water elemental, it's anti-caster, it's anti-slow, it's anti-everything, right?
Okay, these balance notes depend on all of or most of the founding changes at the top happening because tier 2 is going to be
Mm,
far away. It takes a long time to
yeah,
get to it.
Yeah.
So these
yeah.
changes are precedent upon that.
Yeah.
They
Mm.
are dependent upon those
Which
increases in
and
time.
which we said
So
no
you're
to.
always going to have one negation. You're going to need a Farsight to dispel the stupid deer people, etc.
It's just crazy to me that you want to mix up the game this much, thinking that thinking that this game is never going to appeal to more people. You're either going to get this game because you like RTS or you want to get into it or you watch Tyler One or Grubby or something like that, or you're not. Period. End of story. The game is in an insanely balanced state.
Well, just look at the matchups. I think the percentage of win rates against one another. It's the most balanced. There's just some changes. I think this is
Yeah.
all this that we're seeing. This is what's make
You,
gold mine expansion better, but we have to change this and
Mhm.
this and this and this and it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Reduce
Agreed.
reduce destroyer base damage from 1921 to 1720. I'm okay with that. I think that's, but I don't know how the destroyer players feel about it because I don't use destroyers a lot.
All right, what's the supply of a destroyer? 4 or
It's at
5?
5. I think
I
it's
think
5.
it's 5.
3.
You have a 850 health 5 supply unit doing 20 damage or less than 20 damage.
Yeah,
That's
it makes
pretty.
sense, Baron.
That's pretty crappy.
Yeah, Baron makes good points. It's good to make changes to keep things fresh and stuff. I mean, I don't do you make changes in bunches? Do you make changes in increments? What do you really want to see?
Well,
I
this
I
would
always
shake the
get
box.
weary of slamming. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, hey man, we're gonna increase this unit's damage by 25%. It's like, holy
Yeah.
shit, man. Can you just do things incrementally to oh, hey man, wow, we didn't think 10 was a big deal and come to find out that's massive, you know? And I think people don't see that until it starts playing out.
Yeah.
And then you break the game and you lose people because they're like, wow, you just destroyed my race and this matchup. Fuck this, I'm out. And they don't come back till the next patch comes in.
Yeah, but that's why you got to do this stuff on like a PTR and do things slowly. That's really why you're supposed to see more patches, but we don't because Blizzard
Yeah.
doesn't care, right?
Agreed.
I'm going to bed soon, but let's go to the neutral stuff. Decrease cooldown for neutral heroes as first hero by 5 seconds. Okay.
2 minutes and 10 seconds instead of 2:15.
So that the neutral hero is at my expo when I'm expoing it before I am. Cool.
Yep. Yeah. Give engineering upgrade the additional effect of granting 246 hit point regeneration per second. This is for the Tinker.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
super.
I think it.
Super
I
OP.
could
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 maybe, or 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, maybe.
I don't
Yeah.
think helping the Tinker is good for anyone.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean that
He's
right
strong,
there
and you do
gave
see
me
him
gave me
semi
some.
often.
Yeah. Increase the
I have
duration.
mental issues with the
Increase the
Tinker.
duration of Beastmaster's Bear
I don't like
from
goblins.
70 to 90 seconds. Is that at all levels? Does it last 70 seconds at all levels?
Yeah, because there's like 10-second. What is it? 100 mana and the cooldown. You can get 2 for
Honestly,
like 50.
that's insane. 20 seconds is insane. Too
I,
much.
I think Baron. The only change Baron needs is the scrolls back in the shop for his Gargs.
It's 40-second cooldown,
Yeah.
which would mean that you would have 2 bear. Holy
No.
shit!
No.
Negative goes right
Increase the Beastmaster's base strength by 2. I think that might be okay. Decrease the mana cost of life drain from 50 to 30 on the Dark Ranger.
here.
Okay. Increase
No.
life. Well, maybe not 30, but let's play with it. Increased life drain damage from 30, 45, 60 to 30, 55, 80.
Have you guys been?
It's
Have
fine.
has anyone decent ever used a Dark Ranger versus you guys?
Have I used the Dark Ranger? Yes.
No. Have you played someone decent who's used
Yeah.
a Dark Ranger?
Yeah, I've been
All right.
destroyed
Did you
by them.
lose to them?
Yes.
Okay. Let's make that better.
But I don't usually see life drain from them. It's usually Black Arrow
You
or
will.
Silence.
You will because it will kill you.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. That's a
Yeah.
terrible. That's
Yeah.
a terrible change. Anyway, I'll
Anyways,
stop there.
rescale Dark Ranger Black Arrow damage from 21020 to 4720.
It's already very, very strong, man.
He's saying rescale it, like bring it back. Oh no, he's saying He's saying rescale is to make it 4 on level 1.
Yeah,
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Double it.
4720.
double it.
No, I
Get
wouldn't.
out of here.
Wouldn't do that. Give mana shield the additional effect of granting 1.53, 4.5 mana per second when active. So mana
I'd
shield
be okay with that.
would also regen the
okay with
mana.
that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Increase chemical rage duration from 15 to 18, 21, 24.
Don't understand why.
I think chemical rage is a little on
think
level
it's
1.
strong.
It's strong later, but it's a little low on level 1.
Okay.
Sure. Let's see how that would
Okay.
change out. Increase acid bomb secondary damage from 3, 6, 11
Yes.
to 4, 8, 12.
Sure.
I think that's good. Increase Pit Lord's base agility by 3.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
come on.
No,
What
delete the
the
Pit Lord
fuck?
from the game. Get the fuck
I
out.
mean-
Holy
He wants that
shit!
upgrade.
Stop.
Baron and Neo would love this.
Machine
is part
gun
of the
pit
cabal.
lord all of a sudden, just
Oh
like
my
3
God.
hacks, you're all dead.
Increase the
It's not-
Oh my god!
increase the Fire Lord's agility from 1.6 to 2.
What?
Jeez.
No, stop. Have you seen Sonic play, man? I lost his Fire Lord twice this week.
Reduce soul burn
No.
cooldown from 12 to 9 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
Who are these people?
This
These are jokes.
This is
We want a
joke.
perma silence, perma nerf.
Oh
It does
my!
as much damage as a coil.
Power rifle would be removed from the game then with that ability right there.
yeah.
Soul burn.
Increased incinerate explosion damage from 30, 45, 60
What
to
the
40,
I
70,
feel like
100.
it's already very strong. I don't know what game they're watching.
I would say, if you're gonna do it, it's got to be tweaked at small numbers. Just a little bit too much. And
100 damage at level.
We just
oh
want.
my-
If we kill one peasant, all your footies around it fucking die.
all right, guys, we're gonna go through the ring. We're gonna go through the items fast, and then we're gonna go
Yeah.
raid somebody because I gotta go up and go to work tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Reduce sentry ward vision for range from 1600 to 11 to 1000.
Okay.
Decrease
don't
charges of healing words from 3 to 2.
Makes sense.
Yeah, readings +4 to +3.
Everything else is 2 charges. Yeah.
Reduce ring +5 +4. I totally.
The ring of protection reduction is going to nerf the demon hunter in human matchup the most.
Yeah, I would do this though. I want to see
Okay.
the rings
I
bring
would-
back.
Yeah, I mean they used to have +2. I was watching an old like 2003
Yeah.
game, and
Yeah.
I was like +2. I'm like thinking about it. I was like, man, we used to have +2. Holy shit!
Look at this. Introduce two new items on level 1 drop table. A gold coin worth 70 gold or a lumber bundle with 40 lumber.
No.
I think it would be interesting, but I don't think that's where we need
I
to
like
go.
that idea. It's a neat idea.
It is a neat idea, but I don't.
Oh shit! Someone got 3 lumber drops in a row, and they teched 35 seconds earlier, and you're fucked.
That's the problem.
You're tier 3 now. Oh, GG.
Oh wow! Oops.
Interesting. Introduce 4 new items to level 2 drop table. Mini Sobi mask, granting 20% additional mana regen. Mini ruin bracers, mini mask of death, and mini orb of corruption, granting 1.5 armor reduction against the attack
Oh my
target.
god!
So
yeah.
basically mini items.
Dude, you
and
guys remember when they had the little hatchet in
Yeah.
the game?
the pickaxe.
Yeah,
Pickaxe!
I
oh
like the
my
pickaxe.
god!
That was
the
a good
rusty
idea.
pickaxe.
The
Yeah,
Yeah.
rusty pickaxe, dude. We're going back.
I really like that idea. I thought the stun was a great addition.
I think a tomb of mini XP would be interesting to bring back.
you
into the
know
game.
what? The gold
Penguin-
coin and lumber bundle give me the Toma experience vibe, where it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we're like
Oh,
on Twisted
Jesus.
Meadow
Yeah.
400 years ago. Like you would just kill the one just to get the Toma experience.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
25% chance, and then I get very much of that Toma experience vibe from Golden Lumber. That extra
Oh, yeah.
economy could do so much. So imagine that defend would be sooner, upgrade would be your tech. There's so oh my god.
But the blade, you prep both of them, and you can suck it.
They're they're
Wait, what?
interesting, but
Yeah.
let's introduce 3 new items to level 2 drop table. Wand of Illusion. So campaign item, Vampiric Potion, Ruin of Lesser Healing, and Tiny Farm. Same as Tiny Great Hall, but a farm. I kind of like this. I think it's interesting. I don't think it changes, but it gives you a little
Tiny
bit of
farm would be oh my god.
a little bit of je ne sais quoi. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And
You go- You
Yeah.
go for a push. You go for a
That
push,
feels
and
like
then you
a
farm
drop
block them.
supply depot.
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
you just block them. Just a casual drop a farm block, and you surround them. GG.
3
Easy.
units around. Boom.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Have a great evening, guys.
this
I
was
gotta go.
this was fun. It was a different.
Seriously, game.
It was different call to arms. Not an episode, but a call to community. And I will clip it and I will put it on YouTube. Mr. Doom, thank you as always. Mr. Sunshine, great
You're
having
very
you.
welcome.
AKM,
Thanks for having
Thanks,
me.
Bolt.
AKM,
Yeah.
I know this wasn't King of the Hill political talk, but you came in and you were fun, so thank you very much. And everybody that was came in and chatting, that was awesome. And we're gonna go raid somebody. I'm gonna go to bed, and then if you guys want to do this again, we could definitely have more people around. Yeah, whatever. Cheers, buddy.